It's time to start the only way we know how, with the warm-up. Brought to you from our friends at Brick & Barrel. With a wonderful family atmosphere, Brick & Barrel has a beautiful beer garden and is just the place to take in a game or celebrate after. Brick & Barrel, 155 Joyner Parkway in Lincoln. The way you warm up is the way you perform. So to be the best, you gotta warm up with the best. So warm up with us as we sit down with a member of the Potters coaching staff to talk all things Potters. It's time to get loose and warm up right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Well, usually we talk to a member of the Potters coaching staff. We aimed a little bit higher today, Stones McCoy. It's Military Appreciation Day, so we're paying tribute. And we've got a guy who every time I meet him has a new title. He used to be a general manager, then he was an owner. Now he's a president or something. Yeah. Matt Lundgren, what's going on?
Not much different other than just a title change. But, yeah, still the same thing.
Well, every time I meet you, you got yourself a new title. But, first series of the season, you got to be really heartened by the turnout. Obviously, Lincoln fans support the team all the time. But 2 great nights of baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't get much better weather either, so I'm sure that helped out. But, it's year 7. Things are continuing to grow. We keep getting bigger and better, so we're going to, try to build off this the rest of the season.
Yeah, I got to shake your head a little bit at year 7, huh?
Yeah,
I never really thought that was going to happen. Before we get on the field, let's talk about off the field. Stones and I have been marveling over the first 2 nights as all the improvements that you guys made. Yeah. Nobody's resting on their laurels around here, and people are getting things done. We've got the new Kiln area or VIP, whatever it's called, area out there. And you guys have done a lot of improvements out there.
Yeah, We're fortunate to have some really good relationships with Clifton and his business, Taylor Builders. So they were able to get one of their partners to come in and make that project happen as Marquez General Engineering.
Incredible.
Thank you to them to getting that project done. It really cleans up that whole area, cools it off. I mean, it's a much different feel now. It's actually VIP.
Yeah, right? I mean, it was. I looked out the last 2 nights. It's packed out there, and it just looks like that's a great place to watch a game. Yep. And I know people want to get involved. They get in touch at LincolnPotters.com. I'm sure the website will have information if people want to get their groups out there. Also, and this is a little touchy subject, Matt. There's an area over there now that is an area like a sports bar kind of beer garden area where they put up a TV so you can have a drink and watch the game.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember having that idea a little while ago, and I don't remember any residuals coming to me because you've got the Brick & Barrel backyard. It's fantastic down there.
Yeah.
First of all, kudos to you for doing it, but secondly, how about, something for the effort?
We were working behind the scenes. We're going to put up a plaque that says, brought to you by Phantom's Brain. And put it right
fantastic.
There.
That's well, it has to be good for something. But that's another improvement. That right field line is getting crazy down there with the Brick & Barrel backyard.
Cool
and
spot.
Another one of your sponsors, right?
Yeah.
And then I know that Stones is very proud of the fact that you guys have got new seats and everything and reinforce them. And that sounds kind of boring, but when you think about it, when you come out to the ballpark, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just from an aesthetic point of view. I mean, it just looks more professional. It looks like we're actually doing something right here. So there's also misters over there. We haven't had to turn them on because it's been so cool and hopefully going into next weekend too, we won't have to bust them out. But as the temperatures climb, we'll be able to cool that area off. I think even more people will gravitate to that area.
It keeps getting better and better.
Yep.
So let's go to on the field. Now, we have a big change this year. Ryan Stevens steps down after 5 years. John Peters takes over. Before we get to JP, I noticed on the website that Ryan is still involved in the organization. How important was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, that was big. And we, obviously wanted his blessing in who was going to be the next skip. Mm-hmm. And it was a no-brainer for him and for us to turn the keys over to JP. But, Ryan's staying involved. He still has a lot of connections in the college ranks around the country.
Absolutely.
So he's able to help us with recruiting some really good players. I'd say, nearly 30 to 40% of the guys are some relationship with Ryan and the coaching staffs that he has, that he's friends with or has different relationships with. So keeping him involved is huge, and we still have access to the Louisville Slugger hitting facility that he runs. So that's a big thing for our guys that no one else in the country has access to something like that. So, just a different different way to set us a step above kind of some of our competition.
Okay, finally, and thank you for spending some time with us. I know this is a tough question, and you've worn many hats, so you've had to look at it many different ways. But as you look upon the 7th season, what are your goals for this season? What would constitute a successful season for you?
Well, I mean, I think our goal every year is we want to win the CCL. We won the West Coast World Series last year. That was awesome. It was great to bring a championship back to Lincoln here, but it starts with the CCLs. We're one of the best leagues in the country for summer collegiate baseball, and we want to win the whole thing. All right,
Matt Lundgren, thank you very much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
We're
back with more of the warm-up right after this on the Stones Radio Networks.
Here's a quick look back at Potter seasons past.
And a balk in this inning, and we're still not done. 3-3, Potters and Marshalls. Mateo Lake for his first at bat. Coming in for Mason Holt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball's hit deep to right field. That ball is gone. A home run, Mateo Lake. The Potters. A big home run by Mateo Lake. A 3-run shot. The Potters. 2 balls, no strikes on Brando. Just getting started here. Good crowd out here. Entertained by a national anthem rendition that was tremendous. And here's the 2-0. Hit high to left field. Look up, look out. That's out of here. Jason Brando about 50 feet over the fence in left field. And the Potters are on the board early. They didn't wait 6 2/3 for this one. A 2-run home run by Jason Brando. DH today for the Potters. Line drive left center field, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to get to that one. It'll go all the way to the fence, and it is out of here. That's out of here. A grand slam home run by Brandon Motherall on a line drive that just kept on going, and that makes it 19-2 and a fine line drive by Brandon Motherall. By Dimitri Perry, and here is Johnson. Right back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Panlick rounds third. The throw's going to come into the plate. It is applied. The tag applied, and he is safe at the plate. Safe at the plate. Not agreeing with that is Andrew Sloan, who thought he had the tag and thought the runner did not tag home plate, but he is called safe at the plate, so it's an RBI. Still looking for the first hit. Their first hit, the Potters, with 2 outs here in the second. Here's the pitch. Hit well to left center field, and I mean really well. Davis goes back, looks up, forget about that one. Welcome to Lincoln, Andrew Sloan, a home run for Andrew Sloan. And that went to that left center field where all the home runs are going, and I saw that one clearly, and that one was out of here. So Andrew Sloan making a lot of new friends here in Lincoln, California. The pitch. Motherall hits it high and deep to right field. Going back is Cook. He looks up, and it is gone. Brandon Motherall is making this a habit. A 3-run home run, and the Potters grab a 4-2 lead. That's at first Lazard and at third Gutierrez. 1-0. Line drive.
Coming up, Potters Baseball on Stones Radio Networks.
Gaspar's going back, still going back, still going back. He reaches up, and that one is out of here. A 2-run home run for Brandon Motherall. Line drive, center field, hit very well. Barnes goes back, still going back. He's not going to get it. It's down. 1 run scores. Here comes Roselle around third. They're going to send him as well. The throw's coming in. Cut off. It's a 2-run triple for Zach Chamiso. Breaking ball hit well to left field. It is gone. A home run by Clayton Coates, and he really turned on that one. That ball is way out of here. I mean, way out of here. A home run for Trey Fleury, number 2. And I think Trey has made a statement, and that statement is, I want to be the post-game guest on the Lincoln Potters broadcast on the Stones Radio Network. That That ball's hit high. It is hit far. It is gone. A 3-run home run by J.T. Walden. High fly ball. That's well hit to left field. Brum goes back, still going back, reaches up. That ball is out of here. Brennan Roselle, the Fighting Zebra alum, pounds one to left field. The Potters lead this one 12-3, and somehow he's got the flag too.
Potters fans, Potter up.
Hello and welcome to McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California for another exciting afternoon of Lincoln Potters baseball. I'm Mark the Phantom Lowe alongside my broadcast partner, the great Stones McCoy, as well as interns Chris and Matt and the also great Willie Preston. And today we bring you the finale of a 3-game series between the Potters and the visiting Novato Knicks. Each team has a win in the series, with the Potters taking Game 1 5-2 on Friday night, while the Knicks escaped a ninth-inning jam and took a 5-4 win last night to even things up. The Lincoln Bats were hot, 15 hits in defeat, and manager John Peters hopes for more of the same with a couple more runs mixed in for good measure. It's Military Appreciation Day at the ballpark, and the Potters hope to observe the occasion with their second win of the young season, and we've got it all getting started with lineups and first pitch, and that happens right after this short break on the Stones Radio Networks.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport. Lincoln Area Archives Museum is the official partner of the Potters' 100th anniversary season. The museum is located just around the corner in Bierman Plaza in the center of the old historic district. Plan your visit and learn about early Lincoln history.
Hello, everybody. I thought I'd invite people into my house and see how I'm doing before we go out to the field. It's Military Appreciation Day here at McBean Stadium in Lincoln, California, and we've got the third game between the Lincoln Potters and the Novato Knicks as we had the colors presented by local VFW group and a fantastic Star Spangled Banner sung. And we are now ready to get going here with some baseball as soon as we clear the field of the thousands of young people that are out there, because they're part of the game presentation that we do here at the Lincoln Potters. Kids are accompanying the players out to their positions, and they don't let them stay out there during the rest of the inning, and I think that's probably a good thing. As you can see coming off the field, there's a lot of them, and if they were on the field, that would be quite confusing. There's a couple of them small enough, I think they'll probably go up against Piper in the race today, so you might see them again in the middle of the second inning as Piper comes out and races everybody. But we're just about ready to get started here. Levi Sotomayor is going to be the pitcher for the Potters. He's also the DH today, so the Potters doing a little Shohei Ohtani thing with Levi. Left-hander is going to be taking his warm-up tosses as we've got Game 3 of Military Appreciation Day. It's also Slice Day, so there's only one keg of slice. I don't know, Stones, if people inside the arena can hear us. I know that you've got all these newfangled ways people can listen, but there's only one keg of the slice, and if you don't get over there now, you're not going to get any.
There is only one keg of the slice, and it is a hot beer. Not meaning warm, meaning it's very popular.
The kids are loving it?
Yeah, so you got to be here early to get into that keg, and you definitely want to be here.
You know, I was talking to some of your favorite people, which means the vendors here, talking to Bill over at Fat Cat and our guy Javi down at Mi Ranchito, I think is what it is.
Mi Ranchito Pueblito.
Right, he just has the Ranchito on his sign, though. They they've had a great 2 nights, and they've really enjoyed so far the opening 2 days of this opening weekend, and they're ready to rock it. I was talking to Hobby, trying to pull the curtain back, you know, because all you see is you go up there, they hand you a bunch of delicious food, and you leave. Well, I was there watching them, big all the stuff out and put it in. It was great.
Well, I'm not sure who had the better night either, because Ohana Shaved Ice, I don't think the line ever got less than 35 people last night for the Ohana Shaved Ice.
Again, I always overlook them.
Yeah.
And we used to do it with the guys.
They are so popular.
Who was the guy?
That was Jack's Kettle Corn.
Oh, you love that place.
And that's my favorite guy. If you're listening out there, please reach out from Auburn. We miss you. We love you.
I thought he went to Alabama.
Alabama, but he's an Auburn fan or something like that.
I thought you meant Auburn.
All I know is that I need some peach lemonade ASAP shipped here. So
you love that
hook
stuff.
It up.
You love that stuff.
Oh, you buddy.
Yeah. So it's just nice because you're talking to the guys and you see everybody going in there. They come back with smiles, but seeing how the sausage is made literally in the case of Fat Cat is fantastic. So we're almost ready to get started here. We heard Matt Lundgren on the pregame show talk about the kiln down the right field line and also the brick and barrel backyard, which he basically admitted was my idea, Stones. He basically said it was. So we're ready to get going. First 3 hitters for the Knicks, Brandon Herder, Shane Callison, and Jacob Campbell against Levi Sotomayor. Left-hander against left-hander. Herder 2 for 4 in the series. Had 2 hits the first night. Came in and was a late-inning replacement yesterday. Outfielder out of Sonoma State University. Sotomayor's first pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Third game of the series. Potters won 5-2 on Friday. Knicks won 5-4 yesterday. Both of them very entertaining ball games. Sotomayor with the 0-1 comes down low for a ball. Potters banging out 15 hits in that game yesterday and holding the Knicks to just 5, but the Knicks made theirs count to the tune of a 5-4 win and a series record of 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Chopped out towards second base. It's going to be a tough play out there by Sanchez. He goes to first. Did he get him? Yes, he did. What a nice play by Cade Sanchez to get the speedy Brandon Herder on a very slow ground ball to open this game. Good time to set the defensive alignment for your Lincoln Potters after a good play by there. You can see Cade Sanchez at second. Aiden Isola's playing first today. JT Maloney at short and Trey Furry at third. Zach Malone in left. Jarrett Curtis is out in center field. Brandon Springer over in right. Landon Weiss behind the plate. And Levi Sotomayor is on the mound. So 1 out, and that will bring up Shane Callison. The infielder has come on as a defensive replacement. Got a couple at bats in the series in the first 2 games. Is 0 for 2 so far. And he's hitting in the number 2 spot. He is also out of Sonoma State. That one's outside by Levi. 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a chance to chat with the manager, Ryan, the manager of the Knicks. What a great guy. He's really interested, really wants to build that program up. It was resuscitated about 3 years ago. That's on the inside corner. 1-2, and he is trying, working it from the ground up, and those are the guys that don't get the credit, the guys that are there the first year, the second year, that build things up, like the Potters now in their 7th year of operation. Here's the 1-2, fouled back off the screen. But Ryan, of course, makes great friends with Stones McCoy. I mean, I try to be nice to these people, but they just gravitate toward McCoy. I don't know what it is. I tried to explain to him that I was regionally famous for a couple of weeks. Back in the 90s, he was not having any of that because I don't think he was alive then. But seems like a great guy. That's in there. No, it's out of there. Ball 2. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just getting started. Sunday afternoon affair, Military Appreciation Day, and the Potters always do that upright, and they did that a couple of minutes ago. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. So 2 up, 2 down for the Knicks here in the top of the first. And here's Jacob Campbell, the shortstop. Jacob out of College of Marin. 1 for 4 in the series. 2 runs scored. He had a double on Friday night. Talking to Ryan, he does explain that they have a lot of good relationship with the College of Marin and Sonoma State University, and players go from one to the other. And it has been a good, beneficial relationship for all the parties involved. And again, just getting it started. But there's about half the roster is Sonoma State University kids, some College of Marin, and then a couple of other places. But It's good to have the relationship as they do with Sonoma State. Here's the pitch. It's high up in the air right side. Might get out of play. Aiden Isola going over, and he's not going to have a chance at it. It's over there. Oh, right in the Brick and Barrel backyard. I have to think that Aiden yelled at somebody and moved him at the last second, so it didn't hit him. And that's exactly what happened. That's the story we're going to go with. 1-1 now on Jacob Campbell. He's followed by Braden Holiday, who was the hero of last night's game, if you're a Novato Knicks fan, that is, with a home run and an RBI double. Fastball just misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I thought it was 2-1, then I thought the umpire put up 1-1. So, I mean, come on. You're messing with me on a Sunday. That's a nice-looking fastball, but a little bit high. Moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike on Campbell. A little bit of an overcast day, but a nice day for baseball. Very pleasant day to be out at the ballpark, and another great crowd out here. That's ball 4. So Campbell takes the base on balls. First one issued by Levi Sotomayor. And here's Braden Holiday, the designated hitter. 2 for 8 in the series, but both of those hits from last night, a home run and a double. It knocked in a run in the 9th inning that proved to be the winning run. He also had an RBI on a fielder's choice, so he pulled 3 RBI in that game last night, 3 of the 5. He's up here against Levi Sotomayor. Good lead at first base, the pitch. He fouls it back to the screen, a little bit ahead of it, and knocked it over to the screen. 0-1 on Braden Holiday. He's followed by Nico Tejada in the batting order for Novato. Holiday was out in right field yesterday, is the designated hitter today. Here's the 0-1. That's outside. 1-1. He had a play where he ran from straightaway right field all the way into the bullpen down the right field line and tried to make a sliding catch of a foul ball. Banged himself up a little bit, but looks none the worse for wear today. 1-1 is hit high up in the air to right field, out of play. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Braden Holiday, just getting started on a Sunday afternoon. Series started on Friday. That was the Potters' win, 5-2. Manager John Peters getting his first official win as the manager of the Lincoln Potters. 1-2 coming up from Sotomayor. High ball down the right field line again, and that is also out of play. So we're establishing a pattern here. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Holiday. Campbell got the base on balls. He's over at first base. Hit sharply out to the right of second. Sanchez has it, flips to shortstop JT Maloney covering, and that's the force at second. And nothing across before the Knicks as we go to the bottom of the first. Knicks nothing. Potters coming to bat.
Loomis Basin Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of your Lincoln Potters. Visit them at 3277 Swetzer Road in Loomis or call 916-259-2739.
Have you ever wondered, what is CMN? I thought so. Let me help. CMN stands for Children's Miracle Network, a non-profit organization that raises money for children's hospitals. Locally, UC Davis Children's Hospital is your CMN hospital, the only one in our area. It is a nationally ranked comprehensive children's hospital that provides the highest quality of care to pediatric patients like me. How is this level of care possible? With help from CMN donations. CMN teamed with corporate partners and community donors to fundraise for things like equipment, research, and patient care. All money raised locally during campaigns like this stays local to support children treated at UC Davis Children's Hospital. Sick and injured kids can't wait to get the care they need. And thanks to generous donors, partners, and fundraisers like you, we don't have to. Please give wherever you see the Miracle Balloon, and thank you for supporting CMN at UC Davis.
Lincoln Potters Baseball, come on out and join in the fun.
Back out for the bottom of the first. Potters hold the Knicks scoreless in the top of the inning, and they'll go with Aiden Isola, Levi Sotomayor, and Cade Sanchez the first three. Aiden 2 for 9 in the series. Has scored a run, has a run batted in. Playing at first base today. High fly ball left field. Hit deep, but also hit foul. Chased out there by Jake Moore, the left fielder, and it's out of play. Ryan Shimabukara is the pitcher for the Knicks. Ryan out of the College of Marin. Left-handed pitcher. Next pitch is a breaking ball high, so it's 1-1. So Shimabukuro on the mound. Isola at the plate. Right-handed hitter, open stance. Out of Granite Bay High School and Sac City. Another breaking ball. It also misses outside. 2-1 on Aiden. In the number 9 spot. So here comes the 2-2. Popped up, right side out of play by Aiden Isola. Piper the Peacock making his appearance, customary appearance in the middle of the first inning, attracting hordes of fans. Two swung on a miss in the dirt. Catcher picks it up. That is John Holtz and guns it down to first base. And Isola is out on strikes for the first out of the inning. Brings up Levi Sotomayor. We'll look at a little bit at the defensive alignment for Novato. They got the aforementioned Jake Moore out in left field. Brandon Herter in center. Eli Hancock is in right field today. Joey Taddy at first. Shane Callison at second. Jacob Campbell at short. Nico Tejada at third. John Holtz behind the plate. And Ryan Shimabukuro is on the mound. And he's facing Levi Sotomayor, who is 5 for 9 in the series so far and has scored a couple of runs. And he's also on the mound today for the Potters. Left-hander against left-hander. Levi also out of Sac City. Takes that one in there for a strike, 1-1. Cade Sanchez on deck. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. Bakuro throwing something, pulling the string a couple times. Got Isola swinging, got Levi that time, so he is ahead in the count 1-2. That's it sharply out towards second. Shane Callison has it. Over to first for the out. Easy one for the Knicks. Retired 4-3 is Levi, and that brings up Cade Sanchez, the second baseman out of Houston, Texas. Texas A&M Corpus Christi is 4 for 9 so far in the series with 4 runs batted in, 2 each night. We're in number 3. Potters wearing their usual Sunday Stars and Stripes jerseys. Tremendous looking ones. They're the most popular, I think, with collectors. High and outside for a ball. Now, collectors usually have a lot of, big bankroll. I don't have a big bankroll, so I have to try to sneak into the equipment room. That one's hit line down into left field. Jake Moore moves over. He's got a beat on it in left center and makes the catch. So hit well, but right at the left fielder. Nothing for the Potters. In the bottom of the first, we go to the second inning, no score.
It begins on the farm, where hard work breeds motivation. Care is taken under watchful eyes. With new growth comes inspiration, where playtime is mandatory. Welcome to Dueling Dogs Brewing Company. Meet the Stevens, a husband and wife who work hand in hand to craft exclusive small batch beer, mead, and cider. Using locally sourced ingredients to ensure freshness in every glass. Where a community of farmers, local artisans, and amazing food make for a truly inspired atmosphere. At the end of the day, we know the value of hard work. The families it unites, it's in the pride we take, the stories we tell, and the best friends who are cherished. Dueling Dogs Brewing Company.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Couple zeros on the board for both teams in the first. Now we move on to the second. Nico Tejada, Joey Taddy, and Eli Hancock, the first three hitters for the Knicks against Levi Sotomayor. Nico, infielder out of Sonoma State College, or Sonoma State University, 0 for 3 so far in the series. Started on Friday, came in yesterday as a replacement. Came in behind the plate, actually, yesterday. It's that one foul down the third baseline off the screen, 0-1. He came in as a replacement behind the plate, did a great job filling in for the Knicks. We're in number 5, the Knicks with the red jerseys, little white stripes on the shoulders. Outside for a ball, gray pants. Not a bad look, but when you compare it to the Stars and Stripes, you're going to come up short. But most teams are against the Stars and Stripes. The typical Sunday attire for your Lincoln Potters. 1-1 pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Almost like to keep an eye on the Brick and Barrel backyard, see how things are going down there. Here's the 2-1. That just misses outside, so it's 3-1. Somewhere gave up a base on balls in the first inning to Jacob Campbell, but then got Holiday on a fielder's choice to end the inning. He has fallen behind Nico Tejada, 3-1 here. And that's ball 4, an easy take by Tejada. He is down at first base. And Joey Taddy comes to the plate. Joey, a late inning replacement in both games, has 0 for 2 so far. Next time the Potters are at home is going to be Tuesday against the Sacramento Yankees, and that is a 2 for Tuesday, half off Loomis Base and Brews. So you want to come out here and check that out. First pitch at 6:35. That's Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday against the Sacramento Yankees. Here's the first pitch on the way to Taddy. That's also high and outside. Good lead at first by Tejada. Thrown over there is Levi Sotomayor. Keeping him close. Aiden Isola manning first base for the Potters. Taddy out of the College in Marin. That's outside again. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Oh, Stones, I see what you mean by those shaved ice. Man, those things they are mammoth. They're mammoth and they look delicious. And you don't realize you want one until you see them. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's lined into center field. Is it going to stay up? No, it gets down right in front of Jarrett Curtis. First hit of the ball game is a Joey Taddy line drive single, and now the Knicks have something going here in the second inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Eli Hancock coming to the plate. Information coming across our teletype in the state community college playoffs. Sierra College beats Folsom Lake College. I think that was an elimination game. So Sierra stays alive and Folsom is out of the tournament. Both Folsom and Sierra losing games yesterday. I think they both were extra innings, and Folsom's was 15 innings. Today, Sierra wins it 11-10 over Folsom Lake, and we will see some. I know we'll see some Sierra College players out here. Perhaps we'll see some Folsom Lake College, and I think that's J.T. Walden, who's one of the most tremendous Potters there ever was, and tremendous hitter. I think he's close to a .375 hitter for the Falcons. So congratulations to Sierra on the win, and congratulations to the Falcons for a great year. Swing and a miss by Eli Hancock. 0-2. Phoenix Casillas with the 2-run home run gives the Wolverines the win in that one. In what had to be a nail-biter out there, 11-10. Out at the beautiful complex at Folsom Lake College, just a tremendous baseball field. That's fouled out of play to our left. So thanks to Willie Preston for bringing the info. And Willie does a lot of announcing over at Sierra College, so he kind of had a vested interest. So Sierra plays on. Here's Sotomayor's pitch outside for a ball. I believe Santa Ana was I don't remember the other name of the team that won in the first round. So the loser of that game will probably play Sierra in their next game, either tonight or tomorrow. So Sierra stays alive in that one. Live to fight another day. Gets a little tough after a couple of games, though, with your pitching rotation. That's inside. Did it hit him? Eli Hancock doing a nice little dance. He should get out there with Piper between innings. A tremendous little dance to get away from that one. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Many Padres have played with Sierra College or Folsom Lake. We mentioned J.T. Walden, but from the past, I mean, Isaiah Garcia and Matt Lopez and Charles Middleton, all kinds of Padres. That's hit sharply to the left to second base. Ran down by Sanchez. Nice play by Cade Sanchez to even get 1 out. Hancock moves the runners along with a productive out, but Sanchez keeps it from being worse than that. He throws Eli out at first base. Moving up is Tejada. He's now at third, Taddy at second, and John Holtz will be the hitter. So it'll be Santa Ana against Saddleback in the other game today, and the loser of that one will take on Sierra, surviving out of the losers bracket. Here's John Holtz, the catcher. He actually was pitcher the other day. He has not been at the plate, but he's listed as a pitcher and a catcher, so I'm going to allow the legality of that. John wearing number 22 and comes out of Sonoma State University. He's got runners at second and third and 1 out, and takes on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Batting in the number 9 spot, in the number 8 spot is John Holtz. Jake Moore, the left fielder, hitting in the 9 spot. I don't think Jake has had a plate appearance in this thing. I'll have to go back. He might have came in at the end of the game on Friday. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Yeah, Jake did come in and was 0 for 1 in the game on Friday night. But right now it's about John Holtz, who is also the Dueling Dogs batter. So if he strikes out, 50% off the Dueling Dogs. (0-2) pitch coming up. Breaking ball misses outside. So I know what you're thinking. You're going to look and Phantom, if I come out here Tuesday, you said it's 2 for Tuesday. And if it's 2 for Tuesday and we get 50% off, it's very confusing. I don't know how it all works together. But come out here, we've got an accountant on hand to figure that out and figure out what price you actually have to pay. So come out on Tuesday. It'll be fun. 1-2 pitch is hit sharply into left field. Coming in and catching it is the left fielder. He's going to gun it to the plate. Here's the throw. It's a little offline. Oh, the catcher can't handle it. And scoring is Nico Tejada. Good throw by Malone out there, Zach Malone. It took a little bit of a short hop on Landon Weiss, and it'll be a sacrifice fly for John Holtz and an RBI. And the Knicks take the early lead. They lead it 1-0. So Tejada scores. Moving to third on the throw to the plate was Joey Taddy, so he's only 90 feet away as Jake Moore comes to the plate. Just a little bit, bounced a little bit too close to the catcher on that one. A good throw by Malone. It is outside for a ball. So the Knicks with a hit and a run here in the second inning. And they've got Joey Taddy 90 feet away. Moore hits that one down the right field line out of play. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike on Jake Moore out of Chapman University. Taddy at third. Sotomayor checks on the 1-1 pitch high, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the second, Knicks with the 1-0 lead. Sunday afternoon crowd on Military Appreciation Day, and remember, if you're in the stadium or if you're coming out, that slice, there's only 1 keg of that sliced beer. You want to go get that as soon as possible. That is in there. Call strike 2. Nice pitch by Levi. 2-2. And I don't get a slice of the slice. I'm just saying that. I'm just trying to help you out. There's nothing in it for me. Swinging a foul out of the glove, off the glove of Landon Weiss. So still alive is Jake Moore. Taddy down at third. Tejada started the inning with a walk, then Taddy with a single. Eli Hancock moved him along with the ground out and the sacrifice fly by John Holtz, with Taddy moving up on the throw to the plate. which just glanced off the glove of Landon Weiss. Would have been a close play at the plate. That's down in the dirt for a ball. 3-2 now on Jake Moore. Top of the order is Brandon Herder. He is on deck. Three-two on the way. Hit sharply to the left of third. Nice play by Furry. Gets up. He's going to have to hurry. Guns it across, and it gets away over at first base. And going to second is Jake Moore. He'll get an infield single and a base and an RBI. Goes to second on the throwing error. Second run scores, that's Joey Taddy. So it's 2 runs for the Knicks. They now lead at 2-0. Great stab by Trey Furry. Had to get up and throw it in desperation. Just kind of short-hopped Isola over at first, and Aiden couldn't come up with it. So a single and an error, and Moore is out at second base, and the Knicks have themselves a 2-0 lead. Brings up Brandon Herder, who grounded to second his first time up. Outfielder out of Sonoma State. 2 for 5 in the series. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Nice pitch by Levi. 0-1 on Herder. One pitch is in there again, 0-2. Sometimes the things you overhear when you're sitting in the press box, really interesting. Right now, Stones and one of the interns are arguing over who has a better knuckle curve. So that's the kind of things that I have to deal with on an everyday basis. And Willie Preston has to do it as well. So, I mean, we need Purple Hearts or something. That's inside for a ball, 1-2. Pretty soon they'll get up and be showing each other, demonstrating how they grip their knuckle curve and everything. Meanwhile, there's work to be done, and there's no one to do it. 1-2 on Brandon Herder. Moore at second base. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. The Knicks 1, the Potters nothing.
Anniversary season. The museum is located just around the corner in Bierman Plaza in the center of the old historic district. Plan your visit and learn about early Lincoln history.
The mouth-watering Big Mac with a savory Filet-O-Fish and a tasty McChicken. My goodness, that looks good. Oh, you're making a McDonald's menu hack. Yes, a land, air, and sea. Oh, it's going to tip over. No, it's good. It's good. Very stable. Order the land, air, and sea by name. Build it by hand.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Bottom of the second inning. Knicks came up with 2 in the top of the second. They lead at 2-0. JT Maloney, Trey Furry, and Brandon Springer, the first 3 hitters off of Ryan Shimabukuro, who went through the first inning, struck out 1, allowed no base runners. The left-hander out of the College of Marin. Had to take a little time. He had to wait. Very nice of John Holtz, who noticed that as they were taking his warm-up tosses, that Piper and 2 little kids were bearing down on him from third base. And so John says, hey, we need kind of a halt to this warm-up thing, as Piper was dusted by 2 small children. And I told you, Stones, one we saw before the game running off the field in the red shirt was indeed the one who was running against Piper. And I tell you, he's got Olympic speed. I mean, potentially Olympic speed. Here's JT Maloney, takes outside for a ball, 1-0. JT 3 for 9 with a run batted in and a run scored in the series so far. The shortstop out of Sac City. Hits that one on a line down the right field line, but it's foul. Thought he picked himself out a pretty good spot, but just a little bit to the right of where he wanted. Unfortunately, the umpire was standing around the line and made the correct call. I mean, I'm not above taking a double, I mean, it's early in the season, but Trey Ferry to follow, then Brandon Springer. 0-2 pitch. That is high for a ball. I believe that's 2-1, not 1-2. Scoreboard says 1-2, but I think it is 2-1. That's it, right back up the middle and caught by Shimabukuro. And then he flips it behind his back to himself, and I've got to give him credit. You got to do that. Line right back to him. If he was right-handed, he wouldn't have caught it, but he's left-handed. It was right in his glove. And then I think he was just kind of surprised. Had that, like when you get a hole-in-one, you feel really good, and you're giddy, and he just flipped it behind his back to himself. So Maloney hits another ball hard, right on the screws, but right back at the pitcher, and here's Trey Ferry. Trey with a couple of hits last night, 2 for 8 in the series so far. Takes a strike. 0-1. Lines that one down the right field line. That one is fair. Picked up in right field. Nice play out there by Hancock. He throws it in and almost gets Trey Ferry at second base. Eli Hancock got there really quickly. His throw to second was a little bit to the left of second base, and Ferry slides in with a double. So Trey gets his third hit of the series. First hit of the game for the Potters, and here's Brendan Springer. He had 2 hits the first night, 0 for 4 last night, so Brandon at 2 for 4 with a couple of doubles. It doesn't matter, Stones, how many titles Matt Lundgren gets. He still follows his kids around all the time. He doesn't have any say in anything that happens in the household. He's president, owner, GM, doesn't matter. That's a sharp grinder down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. Ferry's coming into third. He will score easily. Rounding first, heading for second is Springer. The throw's not going to be in time. Brandon comes in standing up, an RBI double. He's got 3 hits as a Potter, and all 3 are doubles, and the Potters are on the board. It is now 2-1 for the Knicks. First RBI for Springer. Perfect placement there right down the third base line. And that'll bring up Jarrett Curtis making his debut, out of Cypress, Texas, and Texas Tech University. Jarrett gets 6 foot, 175. Swings and fouls that one at the plate. Wearing number 1 for the Potters. Isn't that Larry Potter's number back in the day? Was Larry Potter number 1? Or was Eli? Eli was number 1. Eli was number 1. That's what it was. Eli Garcia, a local product. The Zebra and Wolverine. So Curtis waiting now as the Potters have put 1 up on the board and have Springer out at second base. And that's in the dirt. Nice block by John Holtz, who's not just a polite fellow, he's a good catcher as well, and knocks that one down. Keeps Springer at second base. Zach Malone on deck, and then Landon Weiss batting in the number 9 spot for the Potters. Curtis hits one out sharply out to shortstop. It's picked up out there and gunned across the diamond and gets Curtis by a half step. That's Jacob Campbell at shortstop making the throw and getting Curtis. Moving over to third base is Brandon Springer. So he's 90 feet away from a tie game, and here's Zach Malone. Zach is 3 for 6 in the series so far. Played left field, played center field, back and left today. Left-hander against left-hander. Pops it up left side out of play. Over there, got to notice Grassy Knoll. I'll tell you something, Stones. The Grassy Knoll population has been very high in the first 3 games of the season. That's really a nice place to sit out there on a day like this. That is high for a ball, although the Potters have done so much to improve the bleacher area or the behind the plate area so that it would be comfortable to sit here as well with the covering and everything. 1-0 pitch coming up, or 1-1 pitch coming up, and drops it in there for a strike, 1-2. Nice pitch by Shimabukuro. Springer comes down the line at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zach Malone. He's got a slightly open stance from the left side. Hits that one high up in the air. Hit it pretty well to left field, but Jake Moore has a beat on it. Drifts over toward the line and makes the catch for the third out. So 2 hits, a run for the Potters. We go to the third. Knicks lead at 2-1.
Astro Air Design Incorporated, where you feel the difference. We are a locally owned and operated heating, air conditioning, and custom sheet metal company committed to the highest quality of craftsmanship at a competitive price. Our trained and certified technicians have the knowledge and experience required to install, maintain, or repair your home comfort solutions. Our upfront pricing gives you the peace of mind because you know your price is locked in. Call Astro Air Design Incorporated today.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport.
It's all you.
No, I insist.
It's your turn.
Nope, I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you.
Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Top of the third, Levi Sotomayor out on the mound for the Potters. They trail it 2-1. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Knicks. Shane Callison, Jacob Campbell, and Braden Holiday against Levi. Both teams scoring in the second inning. Novato with 2 in the top of the frame. Then the Potters came back on a pair of doubles. And there's a couple of beer bats. That's a fine American right there.
He built something to set it down.
He built, what did he build, a carrying case on it?
He built a wooden platform.
That is awesome. We need to get him on the air. That guy's, I mean, he's a craftsman. I mean, the term genius is tossed around a lot, but there's a genius. So he can carry the beer bats. He's got like a carrying case. Oh, my gosh. He's amazing. Thomas Edison would never have thought of that because there wasn't baseball then. But that's outside. 2-0. I lost control of everything because when I saw that guy has to be flagged, and we have to talk to that guy. Figure something you need built and just commission him to build it because he can do it. That's a fastball in the inside corner. Beautiful pitch. 2-1 now on Shane Callison. He struck out back in the first inning, so he is 0 for 1 for the day, 0 for 3 for the series. Playing at second base for Novato. It caught the outside corner. I was going to say it just misses because that's where I thought it did. But it is a strike, and Stones is giving me the side eye. He doesn't like it when I question authority because he's the boss. 2-2. Breaking ball, call strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Levi Sotomayor. He's got Callison for the second time, and here's Jacob Campbell, who got a base on balls back in the first inning. Jacob 1 for 4 for the series, had a double on Friday night. He is out of the College of Marin. Do not know their mascot. I will find that out because I need to know that. It's a sharp grounder down the third base line toward the dugout and scatters. And I don't know, Stones. I think they've broken the Potters' record. There've got to be 30 guys out in front of that dugout. It's a sea of red over there. 0-1 now on Campbell. That is inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Campbell pretty close to the plate. Slightly closed stance from the right side and pretty close to home plate. That's a nice fastball in there for a strike. 1-2. I want to shout out our buddy Cliff Stahl. Did you see that the other day? Our guy Drew's dad, Cliff Stahl, was giving us some love, giving Stones Radio Network some love. Even though Drew's not on the ball club, he's going to be checking us out, and we really appreciate that. Love those guys. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Levi Sotomayor, and that'll bring up Braden Holiday. Drew Stahl, a couple of years, 2 years, Stones, on the Potters? And then had a great year at Oral Roberts University. He was first team all-conference, and Dad made a couple of trips out here while he was playing for the Potters. The Mariners? Yep. The College of Marin Mariners. Okay, I see it sort of because it's kind of near water, but Marin Mariners, I don't know. That's on the outside corner. That's like the Sierra College Sierrans or Sierras. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to see. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. That's a very seafaring logo. I'll see that. That's grounded down the first baseline. Now, my grandfather used to work at Mare Island, which is not in that area. It's in Vallejo, but, I mean, it's down toward that area. So it has got the very marine-like connection. So I have to give it a little soft spot in my heart for the Mariners. But, I mean, you could have. Did they sit around and think about that for a while and come up with Mariners? 0-2 pitch. Oh, boy. Landon Weiss calls it strike 3 and heads to the – I'd never seen that before. He headed to the dugout and then got back behind the place and patted the umpire, a little behind-the-back pat on the umpire. Sorry, ump. I did not mean to show you up. 1-2. Down the right field line and out of play, down where the parking lot Potters might hold court. Actually, down closer to the VIP area, which, again, is sensational down the right field line. And, you know, that's the thing, Stones. We talked with Matt. We've talked with a couple of people out. And, you know, you had to give thanks to a lot of different people. Everybody's working together to kind of make this a better place for everybody. That sounds kind of weird. There's the pitch outside for a ball. But, I mean, people have to pitch in. If you're doing stuff in the community, it takes more than 1 or 2 people and more than 1 or 2 organizations. And that's what the Padres have kind of built up here after 6 years as they revitalized the place. 2-2 now on Braden Holiday. Got a couple hits, has a home run in the series. He's 0 for 1 today. Swing and a foul ball into the catcher's glove, and that's the strike 3. Great inning for Levi Sotomayor. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third. Knicks 2, Padres 1.
Being in the market for a new home comes with more than just buying a property. It is finding the right house in the right neighborhood in the right community. Since 2005, Lori, with Frey & Associates Real Estate, has lived and worked as a real estate broker in Lincoln. She is passionate about local organizations and volunteers with them as well.
She's knowledgeable, she knows, she asks a lot of questions, she gets things done.
We still learn a lot from Lori. And she's very helpful, very positive, and has been wonderful broker.
We at Frey & Associates are your local hometown realtor, and we are here for
you. Welcome back, Olympia's 5th grade orchestra.
Perhaps there's no place like your home because you made it so at RC Willey.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Bottom of the third, Potters trailing 2-1. Ryan Shimabukuro on the mound. And he will face Landon Weiss in the top of the order, Aiden Isola and Levi Sotomayor. So with Shimabukuro and Sotomayor on the mound, it's a tough pitching matchup is what it is. Weiss takes the first pitch, drops in there for a strike, 0-1. Landed 1 for 6 with a couple runs batted in the series so far. Has been behind the plate for both games, or all 3 games. Takes that one in the dirt. 1-1. Landon Weiss out of William Jessup University. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He takes that one low, 2-1. Weiss, Isola, and Sotomayor, 9-1-2 against Shimabukuro. That one's lined into right center field. Coming over is is Hancock, but he's not going to be able to get it. And it's a base hit for Landon Weiss. Third hit for the Potters. First for Landon tonight, and he is 1 for 1, obviously. It brings up Aiden Isola, who struck out his first time up. Leadoff man. 2 for 10 now in the series for the Potters. Playing at first base today at Granite Bay High School and Sac City College. Had a little warm-up going on in the Potters bullpen, and one of the warm-up pitches. You want to try to catch those warm-up pitches out there because when they come flying down and behind home plate, it kind of throws everybody off their game. So Landon Wise ends the first base area for the Potters. Here's the 1-0, and it is in there for a strike, 1-1. He is the batting instructor and I believe also catching coach is the way it's listed. And I know that upset Stones because he wanted to be the catching coach and thought there was a possibility with JP taking over that he'd get the job. Throw over to first base. And I don't want to be the person to tell him there was zero chance, but I will tell him that. Okay, there was a 0.5 chance. That's what he wanted. Next pitch is a little bit outside for a ball. And Shimabukuro, I think, is a little lucky he didn't call for a balk on that one because he barely came to a stop. And I'm not calling somebody out or anything, but just saying. 2-1 coming up by Sola. Swings and hits one into left center field. Moore on the run. Keeps going. He's got a chance, and he's got it in left center field for the first out. That one hit hard, but stayed up a little bit too long, and Jake Moore, covering a lot of ground in left field, comes up with the catch for the first out and brings up Levi Sotomayor, the pitcher, who grounded out to second base, his only appearance here today. He is 5 for 10 so far as a Potter, which is not a bad average, but it could get better with the base hit right now, as Weiss is still down at first base and Cade Sanchez is on deck. We're in the bottom of the third of this one, and that one is down low for a ball, 1-0. Knicks with 2 in the second, Potters with 1 in the second. That is our scoring so far. Levi check swing, fouled it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Levi out of Sac City. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. High up in the air, center field, left center field, moving over is Herder. Here comes Moore now as it drifts over toward left field. The wind takes it to left field, and Moore makes another catch for 2 outs. And with 2 outs, here's Cade Sanchez. He flied to left his first time up, hit the ball hard. Eric Vassar is warming up in the pen for the Potters. Big right-hander wearing number 20. That first pitch is right down the middle against Cade, and so it's 0-1 on Mr. Sanchez. He is 4 for 10 with 4 runs batted in so far as a Potter. That one is high. 1-0. Weiss led off with a single, stayed there as 2 consecutive batters flied out to left field, and now it's Cade Sanchez. That's outside. 2-1. On deck, JT Maloney. I thought it was a little bit odd what the intern was doing. I think his name's Jack. He made a guy spread his arms like wingspan-wise, but I guess he's selling him something. Ball. I just thought he just went up to a guy and said, hey, stretch out. I know that was kind of weird. It was maybe he was going for that Titanic thing, King of the World practice. $20 gets you an arm's length. We'll bring in Anthony Davis. Now, I'm going to get me $20. Check swing, and he went around. I believe, no, he did not go around, so I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Make your own decisions. Stones' cameras are so sharp you can figure it out for yourself. In fact, I think we should let the fans make those calls anyway. Sanchez gets the base on balls. First and second now with 2 outs, and here's JT Maloney, who had a line drive right back to the pitcher last time, which Shimabukuro caught and then flipped around behind his back to himself, which I thought was classy. I really did. JT is now 3 for 10 as a Potter. Hits it high up in the air toward right field. Hancock stumbled a little bit. Now he has a beat on it in medium deep right field and makes the catch for the out. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the 4th. Knicks lead 2-1.
Welcome back, Olympia's 5th grade orchestra.
Perhaps there's no place like your home because you made it so at RC Willey.
Hi, Bill Evans, President of the Placer County Association of Realtors. We're in the store, our conference facilities, an amazing team helps us keep together an amazing organization, and we thank them all.
This organization can't do what it does and can't run the way it runs without the help of so many members volunteering their time.
The success of the Placer County Association of Realtors is largely dependent on our active volunteer members to help our organization and industry. The work of our committees greatly impacts our ability to champion efforts across the board and giving back to the Placer County community wherever we can.
Like all service organizations, I wanted to serve. And getting involved with the affiliate committee was the perfect way to do that.
I love being able to serve my community with my business friends and other leaders and give back to those who are in need.
The thing I love about the PCAR committees is they all work toward the same goal of bringing the community together to support those in need in our surrounding area.
I instantly came to the meeting and had a wonderful time, felt like I was a part of something bigger, and it was just the start of my leadership journey.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
New pitcher for the Potters in the top of the fourth is Eric Vassar, number 20, taking over for Levi Sotomayor, who went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, and struck out 5. So he will, I think, revert back to his DH status, and Eric Vassar will take over on the hill. And they'll face Nico Tejada, Joey Taddy, and Eli Hancock, the first 3 batters for the Knicks. We're endeavoring to get a little more information about Mr. Vassar to bring it to you, but right now we know he's probably about 6'3", I would say. Big right-hander with the flowing gold locks. So we'll come up with something, I think. Here's Nico Tejada, who walked and scored back in the second inning.
And leading off for the Knicks, number 5, third baseman, Nico Tejada.
Nico out of Sonoma State University, 0 for 3 in the series. Looks like Eric Vassar is out of Del Campo High School, and he's a Sac City College pitcher. Tremendous program over there. You can look up anything these days. Hit sharply out towards shortstop. Maloney to his left picks it up. Over to first. It's a little bit too high, and safe at first base is Nico Tejada. Nice try by Isola, who went up to catch it and tried to slap the tag down on Tejada, but he was safe. It'll be an error on the shortstop, Maloney. First error of the game for the Potters, and Tejada's down at first base, and it brings up Joey Taddy. See, back in my day, if you didn't have the internet, you didn't, a guy comes in, you don't have his number, you don't know him, you just call him number 20 and go with that until his name's in the paper, and then you can read the next day. So Tejada at first base, nobody out. We're in the fourth. Fastball, nice looking pitch on the inside corner, call strike to Joey Taddy, who lined a base hit and later scored back in the second inning. So he is 1 for 1 in the game, 1 for 3 for the series. It's the first game of the 3 that he has started. Fastball is a little bit down low, 1-1. Joey playing over at first base today. For manager Ryan and the Novato Knicks. Fastball just outside from Eric Vassar. 2 balls and 1 strike. Eli Hancock, the left-hand hitting right fielder, on deck. Potters off tomorrow. Come back here on Tuesday against the Sacramento Yankees. Check swing didn't go, and it's outside, 3-1. A 2 for Tuesday to be sure. Half price on all Loomis Basin products, which are mostly beers. 3-1. Lined out into center field, going back is Curtis. He has a beat on it now and reaches up and makes the catch. Ball hit pretty well by Joey Taddy, but right at Jarrett Curtis in center field. So Taddy is retired. 1 out, and here's Eli Hancock, who had a key ground ball back in the second inning. 2 on, nobody out. He grounded out to second baseman Cade Sanchez, but Cade only had 1 play, and the runners moved up as a result of that. Then a sacrifice fly and a base hit scored him. Ryan Cooney, I've been told, is the manager's name of the Novato Knicks, which thank you for that information, Stones. I guess you can call him Manager Ryan. That would work if you're like Mr. Rogers or something like that. Here goes Tejada at first. The pitch is in there. The throw to second base is on line, but not on time. And in there is Tejada, who looks like he might have face planted out there, and he takes his time getting up. It was a good throw by Landon Weiss. But Tejada just in there a little bit under the tag, a little bit ahead of the throw. So it's 0-2 on Eli Hancock, but now he's got a runner in scoring position in Nico Tejada. Maloney behind Tejada at shortstop, trying to keep him on close as possible. There's a nice looking pitch inside, but no dice, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Tejada reaches on the air, and after the fly out to center field, he steals second base. 1-2 on Eli Hancock. That's hit down to third, handled by Furry. Looks the runner back, guns it across the diamond, and gets him at first base. Nice play, Trey Furry, to get Hancock at first. This time Hancock grounds out, but doesn't advance the runner. Still at second base is Nico Tejada, and now John Holtz comes to the plate. Holtz flied out to left field his first time up, but it's not all bad for John Holtz. It was a sacrifice fly. Got himself an RBI and not an official at bat, and he avoided the dueling dog's curse. Last night's dueling dog batter struck out twice, but John is today's dueling dogs hitter. If he strikes out, 50% off all dueling dogs products over at the Brick and Barrel backyard. And now we have a couple of barks coming out of the crowd, unless that's Willie throwing his voice. So that's encouraging, because I don't know what I think about that whole deal. That's in there for a strike. Stones would do it, except for he blew his voice out being the last strike guy on Friday night. So his barking is more like a growling, a low growl, like when they're trying to take the treat away from the dog. That's Stones right there. And the dirt gets away from Weiss. Going to third is Tejada, so he makes it to third anyway on the wild pitch. As that one bounced up to Landon Weiss. Got his body in front of it, hit him, and then rolled off to the left side. And Tejada advances. 1 ball, 1 strike on John Holtz. Out of Sonoma State, catcher and pitcher John Holtz. He pitched on Friday. Went an inning, walked 2, and struck out 3. Fastball's in there for a strike, 1-2. And again, 1 strike away. And this looks like a beer crowd, Stones. I think this crowd's going to be like the old days we always talk about when half the crowd got up when there was strike 3. Those were the days. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man, the crowd, the dogs are going nuts. Fastball's outside, and I think Eric Vassar felt it. I think he wanted to overthrow and get the fans what they wanted, because it was like a kennel in here all of a sudden. Get 1,000 people start barking at somebody. That's going to put you off your game. I got to admit it. 2-2. Tejada's still down at third. Knicks lead at 2-1. We're in the 4th. That's got to be a real dog. 2-2 pitch is chopped out slowly towards shortstop. Maloney's going to wait for it and then throw across the diamond and get him at first by a step. So no runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and it's Knicks 2, Potters 1.
Old Town Pizza, a proud sponsor of your Potters baseball, will deliver you a slice that you won't soon forget. Come see why they've been voted the best of the best 12 straight years. Visit otpizza.net to get yours today. But don't take it from me.
I think Old Town Pizza should be expanded through the state or even through the country because it's so delicious.
Placer Valley Tourism. Our mission is to increase the health of the hotel industry through occupancy and average daily rate in Roseville, Rockland, and Lincoln. Proud partner of the Potters in the 2023 West Coast World Series Tournament from August 8th to 11th.
Back for the bottom of the fourth. Piper with the air guitar contest. Better than yesterday. We got a guy now, he's breaking his guitar out there. And Willie's mad because he's playing AC/DC, not The Who, and their guitars wouldn't break the guitar. I think, and Stones McCoy said it first, and I'm going to go, I think Piper wins today. Stones, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think he's ever won anything.
The guy looks like he's chopping wood now, and the other guy looks like he's playing the cello or something.
It looks to me as if he's warming up to take his at-bat.
We have to get some guys out there that are old enough to know what it looks like to play guitar, okay? No, we're not going for Cole or Courtney. We're going for Piper.
Cole was good, though.
Cole was he was playing bass.
But Piper, in my opinion, he wins today.
Cole was kind of the guy in the back playing like John Entwistle, was just kind of twiddling on the bass, and that's all he was doing.
Exactly.
What a contest. Oh, boy. Between the axe throwing and the air guitar, I get worn out watching the games out here. I don't know. Here's Trey Furry starting us off in the bottom of the fourth against Ryan Shimabukuro. Furry doubled his first time up. Takes a breaking ball in there for a strike on one. Trey 3 for 9. Doubled and scored on the Brandon Springer double back in the second inning. Takes that fastball outside, 1-1. Now, it was much more animated in the air guitar today than it was yesterday. Yesterday, I was all for scrapping the entire contest. High fly ball, short center field. Coming in as Herder, and he will make the catch in right center field for the first out. So Shimabukuro getting not a lot of strikeouts, but a lot of soft outs from the Padres hitters. A lot of fly balls, lazy fly balls to the outfield. Furry is down, and Brandon Springer comes to the plate. Brandon, the right fielder today, with a double. Drove in Furry in the second inning, so he's 1 for 1 with an RBI, 3 for 9 for the series. All three of his hits are doubles. Has a nice breaking ball in there for a strike on one. Jarrett Curtis, the center fielder, to follow. As Springer tries to get something started for the Padres here in the fourth. Sails high. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. I just think if you're going to get a prize, you need to have a certain level of competence. 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen, 1-2. Now they'll say, hey, why are you doing that? You have no level of competence, and I agree with you. But I have stuff on Stones that he doesn't want me to release, and so I'm pretty safe. Yeah, and I keep showing up. I haven't got a paycheck in 3 years, but I keep showing up. And when you do that with senior citizens, you just let them find they need a place to go. That is high, 2-2 on Springer, and that's nice. I think you probably get credit for taking care of a senior citizen, and that's nice. The Padres write it off somehow. 2-2 is fouled by Brandon Springer out of William Jessup University. I'm going to call Brandon about 6'4". What do you think, Stones? 6'4"? Maybe a little bit more than that. I was going to say my son says he's 6'4", but I don't think he really is. That's lined into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Moore's going to chase it. It'll get all the way to the fence. And guess what? Brandon Double Springer has himself another one. He says, no, I don't know. He fell down. He was going to go for third because he doesn't like the nickname, and then he fell down and had to go back to second. So I think that means the people upstairs, Brandon, don't want you to get triples. They want you to get doubles. That was a hard line drive. I don't know if we'll call him Double Trouble or Double Springer, or I don't know what we call him, but I don't know if we call him Trippy Springer or whatever. But whatever he did, he's out at second base. Fourth hit for the Padres, second for Brandon. Here's Jarrett Curtis, who grounded sharply to shortstop his first time. He grounds it sharply down to third. That's a fair ball. And Tejada has it across the diamond. He's not going to get Curtis, and it gets away from the first baseman. And moving over to third is Brandon Springer. I didn't see the umpire make any kind of safer out. So I'm going to say that Jarrett beat that one out because I thought he did at first base. Tejada moved away about as long a throw as you're going to have to make on the infield, and Curtis got down the line very quickly, so that's an infield single. Moving over to third is Springer, first and third now. Fifth hit for the Padres. Here's Zach Malone. He flied out to left his first time up. Left-handed hitting left fielder. 3 for 7 in the series. Out of Roseville, California, Wood Creek High School. Takes high for a ball. So with one out, Springer lines a double. Curtis beats out a ground ball behind third base. And that guy has the best shaped ice. It's like one of those dual color ones. Oh, fantastic. I get easily distracted. And they picked off Curtis at first base. They're getting him in a rundown, and here coming down from third to Springer. They run him back. Here's picked it up. Joey Taddy has it. Getting back to third to Springer, and they throw the ball away, and Springer will score. Curtis is rounding second. He's going to end up at third base as Moore picks the ball up in left field. Now, I don't know if that's the way John Peters drew it up, but that's the way it worked out. And Curtis, I have to say, Curtis and Springer ran that about as well as you can run one of those rundowns when you're in two different places, because neither one of them really committed until they thought they had Springer going back to third, and the throw sailed over the head, and Springer scores to tie the game at 2. Curtis all the way over to third base, and that's the way that happened, as he was easily picked off, but they played it right, and he eventually scored. It'll be an error on the first baseman for the throw. That's the first error for the Knicks today. And with the score tied and a runner at third base now, Malone's up here with a 1-ball, no-strike count. Breaking ball, nice-looking pitch on the corner in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Zach Malone. Landon Weiss on deck. Got some activity, maybe just starting for the Knicks in the bullpen. Malone takes a fastball. That's on the corner in there for a strike 1 and 2. Good location by Shimabukuro. 1 and 2 on Zach. Curtis at third. Lines that one foul out of play. Stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jones McCoy with the panoramic view. I like that. Zeroes in on the bullpen. The Knicks getting something going down there. Right now it's all about Zach Malone. Curtis comes down from third again. Zach takes outside, and that was really close. Couldn't have been real comfortable taking that one. Couldn't have been real comfortable. 2 and 2 though. That's what happens when ball players have you got to know your strike zone. Sometimes it's varies a little bit depending on the umpire. Chopped down to first base. It's going to be a foul ball. Joey Taddy all over it down at first base. If it stayed fair, then Curtis would have scored easily, but it's a foul ball. The bullpen's quiet, but I swear that guy's got a Bloody Mary walking across. I don't know. I don't know what's going on at the Brick and Barrel backyard, but I swear that guy has a Bloody Mary over there. I'm sorry I got distracted. 2-2. High and outside, ball 3. Once I invented that place down there, it does magical things on the first base line. And again, if you come out to the ballpark, and we sincerely hope you do, you want to go down to the backyard, like first thing. Check that like a ride at Disneyland, man. Although they're probably always closed. High fly ball down the third base line out of play. Because if you go to Disneyland, whatever is the one thing you want to go to, it's closed. Always. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curtis at third. 1 run in. Malone waits for the 2-2 pitch. High. That's the 3-2 pitch, and that's ball 4. So good at bat by Zach Malone. Works the walk. First and third now, and here's Landon Weiss, who singled his first time up, and we're going to have a meeting at the mound for the Knicks, and we'll step away. Right now we're in the bottom of the 4th, and this game is tied at 2. All the meetings are over, and we are ready to go. No changes have been made as of yet. Still Ryan Shimabukuro out on the mound, although the action is intensifying a little bit in the bullpen for Novato. Here's Landon Weiss, singled in the third, 2 for 7 for the series with a couple of runs batted in. Got those on Friday night in the 5-2 Potters win. He shows bunts it back to the pitcher. He's going to go, he bobbles it. Shimon Bakuro bobbles it, and it's a squeeze play, and it's a successful one. An RBI for Weiss, and the Potters grab the 3-2 lead. Beautiful bunt by Landon Weiss. He'll get credit for an RBI and a sacrifice. And we'll see official score if they call an error on the pitcher or just call that a single. We'll see. They're just going to call it square there. So it's going to be Weiss with the RBI. Curtis scores. Malone to second. And Curtis is a perfect guy to squeeze on like that, because even if Shimon Bakuro had to handle that ball cleanly, he wasn't getting Curtis at home plate. He might have gone to first. First pitch to the leadoff man, Aiden Isola, is inside for a ball, 1-0. So well done by the Potters. Great execution. We'll give that to JP, making the call on that one, and Landon Weiss made it work. His third run batted into the weekend. High for a ball, 2-0 to Aiden Isola, who was struck out and fly to left. Trey Furry started the inning by flying to center, then a double by Springer. Curtis beats out a ground ball for a single. Zach Malone walks, and Weiss with the squeeze play. And we had a little botched rundown in the middle of that. Isola lets it go. It goes underneath the catcher. John Holson goes all the way back to the backstop. Runners move up to second and third. And now I believe it's 3-0 on Aiden Isola. Levi Sotomayor, I believe, is still on deck. Check over there. They've got a nice pole right in the way. He was the pitcher, was replaced, but I believe he was listed as the DH. So we will see. As Isola now ahead in the count 3-0. Right down the middle, call strike 3-1. Hit sharply to left to third, into left field for a base hit. One run will score. Next one is being held up. Weiss will be held up. Malone scores. It's an RBI single for Aiden Isola, and the Potters now lead it 4-2. Second run batted in for Aiden Isola. Malone crosses home plate. Over to third goes Weiss, and that'll bring up Levi Sotomayor. Ernie Henderson warming up for the Knicks in the bullpen. Ernie out of the College of Marin. Here's Levi Sotomayor, now reverting into his role as DH. Potters with the 4-2 lead in this one, as Isola comes through with the single. Sotomayor lines it to right field. That's a clean base hit. Run scores easily, and Aiden Isola is going to hold at second base. It's an RBI single for Levi, and the Potters now 4 up on the board here in the fourth. They lead at 5-2. First RBI of the season for Levi as Weiss crosses the plate. And that will bring up Cade Sanchez. Springer, Curtis, Malone, and Weiss have all scored in this inning. Isola at second, Sotomayor over at first. Big breaking ball is high for a ball. 7 hits for the Potters through the first 3 1/3 innings. Cade check swing and he went, so it's a strike 1-1. Sanchez today flied to left and walked, so Cade is 0 for 1, 4 for 10 so far for the weekend with 4 runs batted in. That's a line down the third base line, over third base in the bullpen area, so that is a foul ball. I believe that's Velez down there. Gavin Velez as the bullpen catcher, and he kind of had to dodge that one coming at him like a missile. So it's 1-2 now on Cade Sanchez. Inside for a ball, 2-2. That was inside a little bit, but maybe you thought about it for a second, but it was off the plate on the inside corner. So 2-2 on Cade Sanchez, coming to us from Houston, Texas, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Chops that one down to third base, handled over to second for one. They're going to try two at first base and did not get him at first base. Tejada got it to Collison very quickly. The throw to first just not quite in time, as Isola's going to move over to third base. So fielder's choice for Cade Sanchez. He's at first. And here's JT Maloney. Lined out to the pitcher and flied out to right field so far in this one for JT. Shortstop out of Sac City College is the 9th battered hit in the inning for the Potters. Breaking ball is in there for a strike, 0-1. JT looks down at JP, and JP was yelling over to the first base. I think either he wanted Sanchez to go or something, because he yelled something across the diamond, perhaps in a quieter moment. I'll ask him what it was. There goes the runner. The throw is not going to be made to second base. It's a bluff throw by Holtz. And going into second base is Sanchez. He's at second. Aiden Isola is over at third. 1 ball and 1 strike on JT Maloney. Check swing again on inside curveball, and that's a called strike to make it 1-2. He went around on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4 runs on 4 hits for the Potters. 1 error by the Knicks in the inning. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Holtz, keeping Isola at third base. That's a really fine play, because that one bounced probably 2 feet in front of him in there, and he made the play, knocked it down, rolled a little bit to his left, but not far enough for Aiden Isola to score. 2-2 on JT. Fouls that one off at the plate. He'll get another chance at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Springer with a double. Curtis had a singles by Isola and Sotomayor in the inning. RBIs for Landon Weiss, Isola, and Sotomayor. Swinging a foul into the catcher's glove for the 3rd out. So 4 runs on 4 hits for the Potters. We go to the 5th inning, and the Potters now on top 5-2.
Hi, Bill Evans, president of the Placer County Association of Realtors. We're in the store, our conference facilities, an amazing team helps keep together an amazing organization, and we thank them all.
This organization can't do what it does and can't run the way it runs without the help of so many members volunteering their time.
The success of the Placer County Association of Realtors is largely dependent on our active volunteer members to help our organization and industry. The work of our committees greatly impacts our ability to champion efforts across the board and giving back to the Placer County community wherever we can.
Like all service organizations, I wanted to serve. And getting involved with the affiliate committee was the perfect way to do that.
I love being able to serve my community with my business friends and other leaders and give back to those who are in need.
The thing I love about the PCAR committees is they all work toward the same goal of bringing the community together to support those in need in our surrounding area.
I instantly came to the meeting and had a wonderful time, felt like I was a part of something bigger, and it was just the start of my leadership journey.
Loomis Basin Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of your Lincoln Potters. Visit them at 3277 Swetzer Road in Loomis or call 916-259-2739.
Top of the 5th, Potters now on top 5-2. Eric Vassar back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face Jake Moore, and then the top of the order, Brandon Herter and Shane Callison. Vassar came on in the 4th, allowed a runner on an error, but then got a fly out and a couple of ground outs to end the inning. And here is Jake Moore, who singled in a run back in the 2nd inning. Takes inside for a ball, hit a sharp grounder to the left of Furry. Trey flagged it down, got up and threw it to first, not in time. The ball got away at first base, and Moore ended up on second, so he got credit for the infield single and the RBI. 1-0 pitch. Inside again from Vassar. 2-0. No activity right now in the Potter's pen. Talking about Ernie Henderson, I believe it was. Warming up for the Knicks. 2-0 here on Moore. Swings and fouls that one away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jake Moore out of Chapman University with a 2-1 count. Vassar from the stretch. Right down the middle, call strike 2. 2-2 to Jake Moore, and he did not agree with my opinion that was right down the middle. He took a step out. 2-2. It's all twos. That's lined in the left center field. That will get down for a base hit. Curtis got up there very quickly. Might hold more to 1. He does. Gets it back in. But it's a clean signal for Jake Moore. He's 2 for 2 today. Just the 3rd hit for the Knicks in this one. And here is Brendan Herter, who was grounded to second and struck out so far. Herter number 2. For the Novato Knicks, their red jerseys and gray pants. 2 is a very prominent number as Stones McCoy's come back with 2 pieces of pizza. So, I mean, I got to respect that. That is something. Sometimes it's about the 5th inning rolls around, you're watching the game in the afternoon, you go, actually, it's 2 pieces of pizza that occupy the square footage of 9 pieces of pizza. I don't know where he got them. Pizzas, big pizzas are us or something. That's line down the left field line slicing. It'll be foul. Watch out in the bullpen down there. I don't know. Did you go to the big and tall store and get those or something? My gosh. My first house did not occupy that much square footage. They did. They said, I put on the jumbos. Stones is on the way. 0-1 to Herter. Swings and fouls that one down the left field line and out of play. So it's quickly 0-2 on Brandon Herter. Wow. Sometimes you just marvel at what human beings can do. That's sails high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Landon Weiss behind the plate for the Potters. Trey Furry is over at third. JT Maloney at short. Cade Sanchez at second. Aiden Isola at first. Brandon Springer in right. Jarrett Curtis in center. And Zach Malone in left. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Weiss. 2-2 now on Brendan Herter. Shane Callison, the number 2 hitter on deck. I swear, he's taken 9 bites out of the pizza, and it's still half the slice is still there. I wish I was exaggerating. Short lead at first base. Here's the 2-2. It is down low, ball 3. So 3-2 on Brandon Herter. The outfielder out of Sonoma State University, 2 for 4 coming in today, 0 for 2 today. That's sails high and outside. So Herter works the walk. 2 on, nobody out here in the 5th inning. And Shane Callison to the plate. He has struck out twice, so he is 0 for 2. Let's see if the Knicks pull out the sacrifice here, try to get runners into scoring position. They've got Jacob Campbell, the 3 hitter, and then Braden Holiday, number 4, coming in after. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. One and 0 on Shane Callison, also from Sonoma State University. 0-2, 0-4-2 before tonight, or today. Takes that one down the middle. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Potters came up with 4 in the 4th. And trying to do what Stones calls the shutdown inning, which is when you get the big inning and then shut the other team down in their half. But so far the Knicks with the first 2 runners on base. 1-1 pitch is lined up the middle, cut off by the second baseman. No, it gets into center field for a base hit. Thought it was going straight through, and then Sanchez looked like he had a chance to backhand it, but it went under his glove into center field, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out for the Knicks and Jacob Campbell coming to the plate. So a clean single for Callison, his first hit of the game. And here is Campbell, who has struck out and walked, and we're going to have a meeting at the mound for the Potters. We'll step away for just a second. Bases loaded for the Knicks. We're in the top of the fifth. Potters lead.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport.
It's all you.
No, I insist.
It's your turn.
Nope, I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you.
Jacob Campbell, the hitter. The bases loaded here. Eric Vassar out on the hill. First pitch is down low for a ball. Campbell has walked and struck out, so he is 0 for 1, 1 for 5 in the series with a couple of runs scored. Moore at third, Herder at second, Callison over at first. That's lined into left center field. That's down for a base hit. 1 run will score easily. Curtis cuts it off. Here comes the second runner. The throw comes into third. It goes all the way through, but safe at third is Callison. It's a 2-run single, and now 5-3 in favor, 5-4 in favor of the Potters. So Moore scores, Herder scores, Callison goes. So Campbell gets 2 runs batted in. And that brings up Braden Holiday. In the dirt, blocked by Weiss. Campbell with a couple runs batted in, his second hit of the series. And Callison is over at third now. Fastball down low. 2-0 on Braden Holiday, who was fielder's choice and struck out today, 0 for 2. 2 for 10 in the series, but with 4 runs batted in and had a home run and a double in last night's 5-4 Knicks win. Lines that one to right field, a clean base hit. He'll drive in a run. That's going to tie it up at 5. As it's picked up out in right field by Springer and gunned back in to keep the runner at second base, Campbell. But scoring is Callison. Third hit of the inning, third run of the inning. Actually, fourth hit of the inning. And it is now 5-5. So Potters got a little bit of fortune smile on them. They put up 4 in the bottom of the fourth. Here come the Knicks back to put up 3 already here in the fifth. And with nobody out, Nico Tejada coming to the plate, who has walked and reached on an error. Another ball coming through from the Potters bullpen all the way down to behind home plate. So time is called. Campbell at second, Holiday over at first. Activity in the Potters bullpen. Fastball is a little bit too high for a ball. 1-0. Joey Taddy to follow Nico Tejada. Just like the whole series, this game has been a back and forth affair with both teams holding leads. That's on the inside corner for a strike. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike on Nico. 4 hits and a walk for the Knicks here in the 5th inning. They've scored 3 times. Campbell at third, Holiday over at first. Fastball just a little bit too high. 2-1 on Nico Tejada. Gets off in a bluff throw to first base, as was even Adon Solo was not holding the runner on. So Holiday got back, and Aiden kind of made a half-hearted effort to get over there. 2 balls, 1 strike on Tejada. Still nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Fastball's inside, 3-1. Potters off tomorrow. The Yankees come to town on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they're off again, and then on Thursday, the Yankees come back to town, and that's a Thirsty Thursday on that day, as opposed to the 2 for Tuesday. That's fouled back to the screen. So however we work it, if you come out and watch the Potters play the Yankees, you're going to get some beer. That's what we're trying to get across to you. 2 for Tuesday and a Thirsty Thursday. Basically what we're trying to tell you is the beer is nice and cold out here. Come on out and check out the Potters taking on the Sacramento Yankees. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Nico Tejada. Fastball just misses the outside corner, and Tejada gets the base on ball. Second walk of the inning. Loads him up for Joey Taddy, who's got a single and a fly out to center field. And we're going to have a pitching change, it looks like, as the Potters going to make a move. We'll step away. Right now we are in the top of the 5th. Bases loaded for the Knicks, and this one's all tied at 5.
Hi, Bill Evans, President of the Placer County Association of Realtors. We're in the store, our conference facilities, an amazing team help us keep together an amazing organization. And we thank them all.
This organization can't do what it does and can't run the way it runs without the help of so many members volunteering their time.
The success of the Placer County Association of Realtors is largely dependent on our active volunteer members to help our organization and industry. The work of our committees greatly impacts our ability to champion efforts across the board and giving back to the Placer County community wherever we can.
Like all service organizations, I wanted to serve. And getting involved with the affiliate committee was the perfect way to do that.
I love being able to serve my community with my business friends and other leaders and give back to those who are in need.
The thing I love about the PCAR committees is they all work toward the same goal of bringing the community together to support those in need in our surrounding area.
I instantly came to the meeting and had a wonderful time, felt like I was a part of something bigger, and it was just the start of my leadership journey.
Brian Garrett, the new pitcher for the Potters, number 4, pitched the other night, I think in the Legends alumni game. He's out of Sac City College. He'll be coming on in a tough situation, let's be fair. Bases loaded, nobody out. 3 runs in. Joey Taddy coming to the plate. The first baseman has singled and scored back in the second and flied to center in the 4th, so he is 1 for 2. Out of the College of Marin, and Brian Garrett has finished up his warm-up tosses just as Stones has finished his second piece of pizza. And I don't know which one's more impressive, to be honest with you. Of course, if I was being Stones' friend, I would tell him that some of the pizza has lodged itself on right around here. You want to get that, yeah. As he uses his Lincoln Potter's towel, waves it up in the air. He roots the team on with the towel and uses it to wipe his mouth after the pizza. That's classic, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Eli Hancock on deck. Garrett from the stretch. First one is high for a ball, 1-0. Knicks had 2 in the second, and they have put up 3 so far here in the 5th. Potters with 1 in the second and 4 in the 4th. So a couple of big innings for both teams. That is also high, 2-0 on Joey Taddy. We're in number 32 for the Knicks. And imagine Ryan Cooney, who we talked to for a little bit before the game. Seems like a tremendous fellow. Got some ideas for his ball club. They're back in action for the 3rd year. That's outside for a ball, 3-0. He resuscitated them. This is the third year of their resuscitation. Building up relationships with local programs. 3-0 now on Taddy. Swing and a miss. So Joey getting the old 3-0 green light that's common in summer ball. Couldn't make contact with that one, though. 3 balls now and 1 strike. 0 for 2 coming into tonight, or today. He is 1 for 2 today. Popped up. See if it stays on the field of play. Furry coming over toward the fence, and I don't think he's going to have a chance that it hits the tarp. The overhang over there makes it 3 balls and 2 strikes on Joey Taddy as Garrett tries to come all the way back from the 3-0 hole. Campbell at third, Holiday at second, Nico Tejada over at first. 3-2 on Joey Taddy. Popped up again. This one should stay on the field and be called by Trey Furry at third base. Infield fly rule is in effect, and Furry makes the catch to the side for the first out. One out as I receive a lost wallet from a concerned spectator. Well done, sir. You're a good American, a good Lincolnonian. And with 1 out, good job by Brian Garrett getting Taddy. And it should be Eli Hancock, but it looks like it's somebody else. No, it is Hancock. Okay, so it's Eli Hancock. 1 out. And the base is still loaded. Hancock, left-handed hitting right fielder. Ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Outside balls, too. So Garrett got himself in the 3-0 hole against Taddy, came back and got the pop-up, but you don't want to go down that road too often. 2-0 on Hancock. John Holtz, the catcher, on deck. Two-0 pitch. That is in there for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the 5th. We're tied at 5. Brian Garrett, the third pitcher. The Minnesota Mayor started, then Eric Vassar, and now Brian Garrett. All 3 Sac City products. Sails high and outside, ball 3. 3-1 on Hancock. No activity right now for the Knicks, although a couple of guys heard me say that, and they're going to say, no, we're going to go warm up. And they are. And I don't think it's personal, but it could be. Here's the 3-1 from Brian Garrett. Right down the middle in there, call strike 2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on Hancock, 1 out, 5th inning on a perfect day for baseball. And a great crowd out here again, capping off a very big opening weekend for the Potters as they return for another summer season. 2023, season number 7 in the revived Lincoln Potters franchise. 3-2 coming up from Brian Garrett. High and inside, ball 4. So Hancock gets himself a base on balls and an RBI as Campbell comes across the plate. Holiday moves over to third. Tejada now to second. 4th run of the inning, and the Knicks grab a 6-5 lead in this one. And here is John Holtz, the catcher, the 9th batter of the inning. He is your dueling dogs batter. But right now, not worried about a strikeout if you're a Potter fan. You just want to get an out. 1 out, bases loaded. 4 runs in here in the 5th. And Holtz, who is a sacrifice fly and a ground out to shortstop, is up here. Raking balls high. Couple of barks out there as he's the dueling dogs batter. 50% off. Number 28, Luke Holt, warming up. Loosening up, I think, is closers. No. For Novato. That's a nice looking breaking ball in there for a strike, and now the barks will just intensify as we're 1/3 of the way. Yes, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, Willie has whipped him into a crazy canine frenzy down there, especially in the section right down to our left right there. They seem to really enjoy that. That's chopped out toward third, picked up by Furry. He's going to have to go across the diamond to first. It's in the dirt, scooped up by Aiden Isola. He out at first, but an RBI ground out for John Holtz. His second run bat in of the day. Scoring is Holiday. Moving up is Tejada to third and Hancock to second. And the Knicks have batted around here, put up 5 runs in the inning. And that will bring up Jake Moore, who started it all with a single. He has 2 singles on the day, 2 for 2 for Jake Moore. Still runners at second and third with now 2 outs. Nice breaking ball swung on and missed by Brian Garrett. So Garrett came in. He got the pop up from Joey Taddy, got it, walked Hancock, then got the ground ball from John Holtz. Fortunately, the bases were loaded, and really nothing that Trey Furry could do except for go to first on that one. A high chopper. And now he's got Jake Moore. Another breaking ball, this time a called strike, so it's 0-2 on Jake Moore. Garrett looks into Landon Weiss to get his sign. Checks the runner over at third base. Another breaking ball swung on and missed. So 5 runs for the Knicks in the 5th. They grab a 7-5 lead as we go into the bottom of the 5th on the Stones Radio Networks.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport. Lincoln Area Archives Museum is the official partner of the Potters 100th anniversary season. The museum is located just around the corner in Bierman Plaza in the center of the old historic district. Plan your visit and learn about early Lincoln history.
Luke Holt, the new pitcher for the Novato Knicks. Luke, a right-hander out of Shoreline Community College, comes in with a 7-5 lead after his team strikes for 5 in the top of the 5th inning. He'll face Trey Furry, Brandon Springer, and Jarrett Curtis, 5, 6, and 7 for the Potters. Holt, a right-hander, going to be throwing to John Holtz behind the plate. Nick Tobin has taken over at first base, it looks like, for the Knicks. Second base, Shane Callison. Campbell at short, Nico Tejada at third. Moore in left, Herder in center. Eli Hancock out in right field. Trey Furry, the first hitter for the Potters here. He has doubled and flied to center, so he is 1 for 2. So Luke Holt's first pitch to Trey Furry is outside for a ball, goes all the way back to the backstop. So Tobin is hitting at first. I think we might have a new right fielder as well. We'll check on that. That's a long way away. 1 ball and no strikes on Trey Furry, the Folsom Lake College product. Probably a little sad that his team lost to Sierra today at the state championships, 11-10, in a barn burner, what must have been a real nail biter out there at Folsom Lake College. 1-0 on Trey. That's outside for a ball. Luke Holt with a very deliberate windup. Two-zero pitch is just a little, no, it's in there for a strike. Umpire a little slow on the call there. Not that he was wrong, just a little slow. I had already given Trey the third ball. No bias here. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one is also in there for a strike, and Trey and I are both kind of concerned about the strike zone. Just mildly. It's only the 3rd game of the season, so mildly concerned. 2-2. Uh-oh, Stones. Don't look down behind the backstop. That's high and outside, ball 3. Guy's sporting a Dodger jersey. No number or anything on the back. It's just blank on the back. Is that the common way to do it? If you have a Dodger jersey and it's not number 32, then I don't like you. Well, it could be, I think Fernando was 34. I think it could be 34 as well. I mean, come on. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 outside. So Trey Furry, on what he thinks was a 6-0 count, walks down to first base. On base for the 2nd time today, and here is Brandon Springer, who has a couple of doubles. Just as I thought, number 34, Joey Lovelace, has taken over in right field for Eli Hancock. Brandon Springer, who has doubled in a run in the 2nd and then doubled in the 4th and scored, so he is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. That's the way that works. Takes outside for a ball. If he doubles this time, Stones, I'm going to have to give him a double Springer nickname. I mean, you know, if he gets his first 5 hits of the season are all doubles. There's got to be something better than double trouble, obviously, but he fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Springer out of William Jessup University gets into a chat with the umpire, which is always a good idea. Jarrett Curtis making his debut with the Potters today. He's on deck out in center field today. High fly ball foul down the right field line. A little surprised we haven't seen Trey Furry take off on one of his. He almost took off just there as the throw went back to the pitcher, but since it was after a foul ball, time was out and it wouldn't have counted anyway. But that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for Trey to see. All of a sudden, he just suddenly takes off for second base, usually into a walking lead. He takes a short lead and just walks into it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brandon Springer. Holt taking his time getting his sign and throws over to first base to Nick Tobin, the new guy. He's got to break his glove in because he dropped that one. So it's a good thing they tried that, work out the kinks. Just came in the game. 1 ball and 2 strikes again. Holt comes set. There goes Furry, and it pitches outside. The throw to second almost hits the pitcher, and Furry is safe by a considerable amount. It's a low and outside pitch, and John Holtz came up and threw it a little bit to the left of the pitcher's rubber, which is where Luke Holt was standing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Springer, but now Furry is in scoring position as the Potters scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th, gave up 5 in the top of the 5th, so they got some work to do here. Springer swings and misses at a high fastball. He's down on strikes, and that'll bring up Jarrett Curtis. Curtis grounded out to shortstop his first time. Then he grounded it to the behind it. Third base, Nico Tejada flagged it down, threw it across the diamond, not in time to get Jarrett Curtis. So an infield single for the center fielder out of Texas Tech and Cypress, Texas. He's up here with a runner at second and one out now. Outside, considerably outside, hits the screen, and so doesn't bounce back, and Furry coasts down into third base with a wild pitch. He's down there with one out. Zach Malone scheduled next for the Potters. Curtis hitting in the number 7 spot in his debut. Outside again. It's not quite as far as last time, but it's 2-0 on Jarek. Finishing up his sophomore year at Texas Tech. Here's the 2-0. Popped it up right side out of play. That went right down the middle. Had a hack at it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch coming up from Holt. Popped up right side again. Nick Tobin's going to give chase down the right field line, but it's over into the VIP O'Killen section over there. So we're at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jarrett Curtis. Potters have tomorrow off. Sacramento Yankees come in on Tuesday. Another day off, then the Yankees come back. Then a weekend series against the Menlo Park Legends. 2 6:35 games on Friday and Saturday, and then the Sunday game next Sunday will be another 105 affair. Furry bluffs down the line from third. High fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jarrett Curtis. That's more the Trey Furry we're used to seeing. Just inappropriately at some time, just start running. That's what he does. 3-2. Luke Holt, the new pitcher. Shimabukuro went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits and 5 runs, struck out 2. Outside, ball 4. So Curtis takes a close pitch on the outside corner, was off the outside corner. He goes down to first base, first and third now, and that will bring up Zach Malone. Yeah, it looks like Jackson Sadler warming up for the Knicks. He's out of Sonoma State University, a right-hander. And here's Zach Malone, who has walked and flied to left. Going to second is Curtis, and Furry correctly read that one off the backstop. It came right back to John Holtz. He would have had a good chance to get Trey. Curtis, though, goes down to second base. So he is in scoring position where a single might tie this one up again. And Malone ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Zach followed by Landon Weiss, the number 9 hitter in the order. Malone takes inside again, barely misses him. Nice play by Holtz to keep that one from going to the backstop. So it's 2-0 on Zach Malone. Furry walked, stole second, went to third on a wild pitch. Springer struck out, and then Curtis walked and has gone to second on a wild pitch. And now it's 2-0 on Zach Malone. Hits that one up in the air to left field to Moore. He's going over toward the line. He's going to catch it in foul territory. He'll throw it to the plate, but Furry's going to score without a throw being made. It's cut off, and they're going to just appeal third just for the heck of it. And the umpire's not even paying attention to him. He's standing on third to appeal it, and neither umpire is, they're pointing to each other, and now he's tagging third again to appeal it, and I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. He finally says, you know something? If I just make the safe call, this will all go away. Sacrifice fly for Malone. Furry scores at 7-6. Curtis still out at second base. So a run without benefit of a hit for the Potters here in the 5th inning. They still trail it by 1, and here is Landon Weiss, who was singled and sacrificed. Sacrifice was actually a squeeze bunt, which was successful, and he actually reached base on it. That was back in the 4th inning, so he's got an RBI on the day, 3 of them for the weekend for Landon Weiss. There goes the runner. The throw to third base is going to be too late. Sliding in head first is Jarrett Curtis, and he is now at third base. And with as many balls as are going back to the backstop, that's a big play by Jarrett Curtis right there. Weiss now 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the order, Aiden Isola on deck. Fastball's outside, 3-0. One run in for the Potters here in the 5th. They trail it 7-6. Only fitting it's a back and forth affair in a series that's been pretty darn even so far through 2 games. 3-0 pitch is down low for a ball. Third walk of the inning given up by Holt. And now with runners at first and third, Aiden Isola coming off an RBI single back in the 4th inning. Aiden 1 for 3 on the day, 3 for 12 in his first weekend as a Potter with a couple of runs batted in and a run scored. Another Sac City product, this time out of Granite Bay High School. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. Weiss did not show any inclination to go over at first base. He's got Curtis over at third, and after seeing Curtis on the base path, I think the Knicks would just hold on to that ball if Weiss did go. Let's see. That's a sharp ground ball into center field for a base hit, and we once again have a tie ball game. Aiden Isola with his 2nd straight RBI single, and the scoring is Curtis, and it's 7-7. Now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound and probably get ourselves another pitching change. So we'll step away, and we've got a barn burner back and forth in this one. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Knicks 7, Potters 7.
Being in the market for a new home comes with more than just buying a property. It is finding the right house in the right neighborhood in the right community. Since 2005, Lori, with Frey & Associates Real Estate, has lived and worked as a real estate broker in Lincoln. She is passionate about local organizations and volunteers with them as well.
She's knowledgeable, she knows, she asks a lot of questions, she gets things done.
We still learn a lot from Lori, and she's very helpful, very positive, and has been wonderful, wonderful broker.
We at Frey & Associates are your local hometown realtor, and we are here for you.
It begins on the farm, where hard work breeds motivation. Care is taken under watchful eyes. With new growth comes inspiration, where playtime is mandatory. Welcome to Dueling Dogs Brewing Company. Meet the Stevens, a husband and wife who work hand in hand to craft exclusive small batch beer, mead, and cider. Using locally sourced ingredients to ensure freshness in every glass. Where a community of farmers, local artisans, and amazing food make for a truly inspired atmosphere. At the end of the day, we know the value of hard work. The families it unites, it's in the pride we take, the stories we tell, and the best friends who are cherished. Dueling Dogs Brewing Company.
New pitchers, Jackson Sadler, wearing number 40 out of Sonoma State University, third pitcher of the day for the Knicks, and he will face Levi Sotomayor, the first hitter for the Potters. Levi with a 1 for 3 today and an RBI single back in the fourth inning. He's got runners at first and second here. First pitch sails high and outside. Levi also started the game on the mound, 3 innings and gave up 2 runs, 3 hits, struck out 5. So a busy day for Levi. He's up here now with the game tied at 7 and 2 runners on in the 5th inning. Pops that one up left side. Giving chase is Tejada over by the fence, and he will not have a chance. It's about 30 feet foul over by the bounce house over there. That's the great thing about bounce. There's never a line to get in the bounce house. Everybody's just in the bounce house. So there's no problem over there with the line. In the brick and barrel backyard, there's a line, and there's you can't get everybody in there at once. Although, you get in there, you sit down, you watch the game on a TV screen. It's a pretty good life, really. 1-1 coming up from Sadler. Call strike 2 on Levi Sotomayor. Sadler loses the hat, so he has to pick up the hat before he can get the throw back from the catcher. But he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cade Sanchez to follow if Levi can keep it going for the Potters. They've scored twice here with the benefit of just 1 hit. That's high and outside. 2-2. Six 6'2", 180 pounds for Jackson Sadler out of Reno, Nevada. As he steps back off the rubber, astounded that we had that information. So he had to kind of go, wait a minute. They know a little bit about me. I got to take a time here. Now he's ready to go again. Runners off second and first. 2-2 pitches fouled back to the screen, and Sotomayor had to just spoil that one. That was almost by him. Fastball on high and outside. Two coming up once again. That's lifted out into left field. Moore's coming in on it, and he falls down, reaches up, and can't get it. It's going to go all the way back to the fence. Picks it up and gets it in. 1 run scores. So he did kind of knock it down out there. It looked like it was going to get by because it looked like he pounded the ground in frustration, but he was just trying to get the ball. It's a single for Sotomayor and RBI. Going to third is Isola. And that'll bring up Cade Sanchez. Weiss scores. So Potters have put 3 up on the board here. They've taken the lead back 8-7. Looks like Moore ran it down, maybe overran it a little bit. I don't know that the sun is that bad right now out in left field. It is totally a troublesome left field on a normal day. Sanchez takes a strike on the outside corner. So 8-7. Potters now with 9 hits, had 15 last night. Swing on a foul at the plate by Sanchez. Quickly 0-2. They got a piece of John Holtz, the catcher, so we're all going to pretend like we don't see that, and the umpire is going to usually go out and talk to the pitcher. So we're finally ready to get back. Oh, and 2 on Cade Sanchez. That's hit sharply out towards shortstop, picked up out there by Campbell across the diamond in the dirt, scooped up by Nick Tobin at first base. So 3 runs, 2 hits, left a couple. At the end of 5, the Potters back on top 8-7.
It's all you.
No, I insist.
It's your turn.
No, but I think it's your turn.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go.
I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you.
After you.
Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Loomis Basin Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of your Lincoln Potters. Visit them at 3277 Swetzer Road in Loomis or call 916-259-2739.
Being in the market for a new home comes with more than just buying a property. It is finding the right house in the right neighborhood in the right community. Since 2005, Lori with Frey & Associates Real Estate has lived and worked as a real estate broker in Lincoln. She is passionate about local organizations and volunteers with them as well.
She's knowledgeable, she knows, she asks a lot of questions, she gets things done.
We still learn a lot from Lori, and she's very helpful, very positive, and has been wonderful broker.
We at Frey & Associates are your local hometown realtor, and we are here for you.
Lincoln Potters baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Top of the 6th, Potters back on top 8-7. Brian Garrett, who came on in the last inning, he is still out on the mound, and now he is the pitcher of record here. As we will go top of the order for the Knicks in the 6th. That's Brendan Herter, Shane Callison, and Jacob Campbell. Piper doing the dance contest, which, thank to the camera for getting that. That usually is the highlight. There's usually about 3 times that many people. Who's going to get it? Who got the win? Oh, congratulations, young man. Well done. All right. Oh, he gets one of those sweet hats. Wait a minute. That might be worth entering Tuesday night. When the Yankees come to town, I'm going to get in that dance contest. Here's Herter. First pitch is high for a ball. Brandon is grounded to second, struck out and walked, and scored back in the 5th inning. High again, 2-0. Stones makes a get down motion. I don't know what he's doing. Saying that, I don't know if he's telling the pitcher, if he's telling Piper to get out of the way because he can't see. 2-0. I love how there's always so many people walking around at a baseball game. That's in there for a strike. You just, anytime there's like 50 to 75 people just walking around. If you're headed to the to the Brick and Barrel backyard, I understand that. Otherwise, I don't know what you're doing. 2-1 pitch, misses outside, 3-1. I suppose you could be going to the bounce house, but some of these people I don't think are. I think they're just walking back and forth the way they used to do at high school football games. You just walk in front of everybody just for the heck of it. That's inside ball 4. So Herter reaches base for the 2nd straight time via the base on balls. He's over at first. And here comes Shane Callison. I think we might have. No, that's Shane Callison. No, it's Cooper Callison taking Shane's place. So Cooper Callison comes in. So keep it in the Callisons. Shane was 1 for 3 in his stint, and now here's Cooper, who started and played at third base the first 2 games of the series. Furry in at third base. That one sails high and outside. Flag down by Landon Weiss. 1 ball and no strikes. Potters bullpen quiet for now. In fact, both bullpens are quiet for now. As we have Garrett and Sadler are the pitchers of record. Jacob Campbell in the on-deck circle. Fastball is inside for a ball, 2-0. Garrett with a pretty deliberate leg kick there from the stretch. I wouldn't be surprised if Herder tries to take off here. Or at least he had on that pitch. Herder with a pretty good lead over at first base. There he goes. Pitch is in there for a strike. The throw is beautifully thrown to second base, but not in time, and it gets away into center field by Curtis. Maloney tried to put the tag on as the runner was sliding by. His Weiss put another good throw out there, but just a little bit too late to get Brandon Herder, and he is at second base now with the stolen base. The pitch was called a strike on Cooper Callison. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. Garrett checks the runner at second base. That's high. 3-1. Levi Sotomayor started for the Potters. Eric Vassar was the second pitcher. Then Brian Garrett came in to close out the 5th inning. All 3 out of Sac City College. Fastball inside, gets away, and going over to third base is Herder. And it's ball 4 to Cooper Callison. So a couple of walks to open the 6th here, and the runner's now at first and third. And Jacob Campbell is the next hitter. As we're going to have a meeting at the mound, and we'll step away for just a second in the top of the 6th. Just getting started here in the 6th. Potters with the 8-7 lead.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadium. 33 action-packed home games loaded with fun for the whole family. Local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Umpire has decided, hey, you guys been talking long enough. It's time to get out of there. And he goes out and cleans out the area. You kids go outside and play. You don't stay inside on a day that's this nice. That's what he's got going on. First and third, nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Jacob Campbell, who's walked, struck out, and had an RBI single. Make that a 2 RBI single back in the 5th inning. He has 2 runs and 2 runs batted in the series. 2 for 6. Herder at third, Cooper Callison over at first. Wouldn't be surprised to see him on the way. Not on that pitch, and that one is high, right over the top of the head of Jacob Campbell, and Landon Weiss with a tremendous effort to keep that one from going back to the backstop, which he does. 1-0 on Campbell. Braden Holliday to follow, the number 4 hitter in the order, who has 5 runs batted in over the weekend. Right down the middle, fouled back to the screen by Jacob Campbell. Jacob out of the College of Marin, playing at shortstop for the Knicks here today. Callison with a short lead over at first base. That's a breaking ball, and it's on the outside corner for a strike. Nice pitch by Brian Garrett. Puts him ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Callison short lead at first. Herder down the line at third, 1-2 pitch, breaking ball high. 2-2 on Jacob Campbell. Ever since I said that, now nobody's walking around anymore. I don't know what it is. I think they just had to have somebody tell them to stop. Stop walking and watch the game. I said, okay. 2-2 is lined into left field. Coming on, Malone diving, tried, didn't get it. That's going to go back to the fence. 1 run scores. Here comes Callison. He's rounding third. He's going to score. And Campbell's going to drive them both in with a 2-run double. And the Knicks are back on top, 9-8. Nothing really Malone could do out there. He had to do or die on that one. No in between, and he didn't make the play. Went out, got it right away. But Campbell now with 4 runs batted into the game. And a couple more walks score for the Knicks, and they lead at 9-8. And here's Braden Holiday, who was hit into a fielder's choice, struck out, and then singled in the 5th. Picked up an RBI, his 5th of the weekend. He had a home run to double last night. High for a ball. Still nobody out here in the 6th. This teams continue to trade. Potters had 4 in the bottom of the 4th, then 5 for the Knicks in the top of the 5th, 3 for the Potters in the bottom of the 5th, and now 2 in the top of the 6th for the Knicks. Holiday fouls that one back to the screen. An inside fastball evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Always worry when someone fouls it back to the screen, he'll knock one of Stones' cameras down like yesterday. But he had that older guy down there. He's not there today. He won't be able to fix it for you like he did yesterday. I think he was one of Cheech or Chong. I'm not sure which one he was. It was Cheech? Okay, fair enough. Breaking ball's hit well to center field. Curtis on his horse. He's going to go back into right center, make a diving try. Did he make the play? I think he did. What a catch. Tagging at second base is Jacob Campbell, but what a catch by Jarrett Curtis. They're going to go try to appeal second, and no, he did tag up. Curtis with just a tremendous catch, covered a lot of ground, and then at the end of all that running had to make the sliding catch. And I don't want to say he made it look easy, but he didn't make it look really difficult. And going to third is Campbell, and Holiday's over there going, man, I thought I had myself 2 bases at least on that one. First out is recorded. Here's Nico Tejada, who's walked, reached on an error, and walked. So can't keep Nico off the bases. Over at third now is Campbell. Breaking ball is in there for a strike against Nico Tejada. He's followed by Nick Tobin, the new first baseman. That's high with a fastball. 1-1. Tejada out of Sonoma State University against the Sac City College pitcher Brian Garrett. Breaking ball just misses that outside corner, 2-1. Two-1 is outside and low, 3-1. Tejada been on base all 3 times. Joey Taddy is 1 for 3, but he'd been replaced now by Nick Tobin. Had a couple hits in game 1 on Friday night. Fastball in there, call strike 2. Nico thought he might have himself a base on balls, but not so fast, says the umpire. Nico said, wasn't a little high, and the umpire says, if it was, I wouldn't have called it a strike. So that's how that conversation went. Some parts have been changed of that conversation. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball's hit high up in the air to left center field. Curtis on the move. Moving over is Malone. Curtis is going to make the catch for the out. But Curtis thought it was 3 outs and didn't look up, and tagging at third and scoring is Jacob Campbell on a sacrifice fly for Tejada. And that makes it 9-7 in favor of the Knicks. Or excuse me. That makes it 10-8 in favor of the Knicks. Keeping it straight here, keeping it straight. Here's Nick Tobin with 2 outs. I don't think Curtis, even if he would have thrown it, would have been able to get him. It was a pretty deep shot into left center field. But it looked like he thought there were already 2 outs. Campbell tagged up and he scored. First pitch is in there for a strike to Nick Tobin, the first baseman of Santa Rosa Junior College, making his first appearance of the day. Another breaking ball, but that one stays high. 1-1. So 2 walks, a double, a fly out, another fly out, and 3 runs have scored for the Knicks here. The umpire looks like he's writing Nick Tobin's number down. Yep. It's like he looked like he pulled him over for a citation or something. He's writing him a ticket. It's like, okay, dude, you're not supposed to be in. I knew he was in a long time ago. Announced it 2 innings ago. Come on. Yeah, that's what he's asked. Proof of insurance, Nick. Come on. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's just that, all of a sudden we've got all kinds of action going on for like 3 hours. All of a sudden he just pulls out his little book and writes the guy's number down. Okay, mister, I got my eye on you, 23. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball just misses the outside corner. Brian Garrett thought it was a strike. And if it was, I'm sure the umpire would have rung him up because he's already written his number down in the book. So it's not like he's going to get many breaks. Activity in the bullpen for the Knicks here, as they now have a 10-8 lead. That one is outside again. Makes it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Joey Lovelace, who came in for Eli Hancock, is on deck to bat in Hancock's number 7 spot in the order. Breaking ball's popped up. Short center field going out is Maloney. He's going to call for it, but here comes Curtis is going to make the catch in short center field. So 3 runs on just 1 hit and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a tough one. Knicks 10, Potters 8.
The mouth-watering Big Mac with a savory Filet-O-Fish and a tasty McChicken. My goodness, that looks good. Oh, you're making a McDonald's menu hack. Yes. A land, air, and sea. Oh, it's going to tip over. No, it's good. It's good. Very stable. Order the land, air, and sea by name. Build it by hand.
Placer Valley Tourism. Our mission is to increase the health of the hotel industry through occupancy and average daily rate in Roseville, Rockland, and Lincoln. Proud partner of the Potters in the 2023 West Coast World Series Tournament from August 8th to 11th.
After 5.5, which means we're a little bit late for the Stones-McCoy mid-game report, but I thought I'd bring Stones-McCoy in. First, Stones, before you give me your mid-game report, when they do the bat spinning competition, you can't have kids do it because kids can spin around for 3 hours and not and
never
still
get
on
dizzy.
balance, right?
Yeah,
and they just run straight to Piper. So can you? I know you know a lot of people in the administration.
Yes,
Can you put a word in?
I'm going to have a talk with somebody. It's called the dizzy bat race. If you put kids out there and they don't get dizzy, what's
Thank
the
you.
point of the race?
All right, I know that's taking a lot of your time up, but give me your impressions of the first half of the ballgame.
Well, I mean, I actually thought it started out really as a pitching duel, and then it turned into the anti-pitching duel.
Yes, it did.
And
Yes, it did.
a lot of pass balls, a lot of walks, things of that nature is really allowing both teams to get runners on and get them in. Unfortunately, the Knicks have taken advantage of it and put up 2 extra runs on the board to take the 10-8 lead.
Yeah, we have seen some timely hitting, but the runners that are on base for those timely hits have been put there by walks for the most part. That's Stones McCoy in the mid-game report, brought to you by the Stones Radio Network. Stones McCoy is the president, so you connect the dots. Nick Herman is the new pitcher, and I think he just hit the first batter. He did, and that is J.T. Maloney, who will go down to first base. So Nick Herman, the 4th pitcher after Shimabukura, Holt, Sadler, and now Nick Herman. The right-hander out of Sonoma State University will now face Trey Furry, who has doubled, flied to center, and walked and scored twice. So we've had a bunch of multiple-run innings here. We had 3 straight innings that teams have scored at least 3 runs, bottom of the 4th, all the way through the 5th and the top of the 6th. Let's see if the Potters can keep that going. The pitch to Furry fouls it back to the screen. Brendan Springer is on deck. A lot of times you see a lot of those, like we were talking about in the mid-game report, you see a lot of walks, put runners on base, but guys don't come through. And we've had a lot of good clutch, timely hitting by both teams, driving in those guys who got on base via the walk. That's inside for a ball 1-1. As evidenced by the 10-8 score as we go into the bottom of the 6th. Great Sunday crowd out here for a little bit of baseball. Military Appreciation Day, and I always appreciate the pageantry that Potters put on before these games. 1-1 on Furry. Trey pops it up. Tobin going after it. Tobin is going to make the catch in the first base coaching box. So got in on the hands of Furry. He tried to muscle it out of there, couldn't do so. Pops it out to first base, first out recorded, and here's Brendan Springer, who's doubled twice and struck out. 4 for 11 now. He has an RBI today and a run scored, does Brendan Springer. He's got JT Maloney down at first and 1 out. Lines it to right field. That's going to be a base hit. Maloney's going to round second. He's going to get into third. Springer thinks about trying to make it a double, but he doesn't because he knows I would have said something about it, so he stays at first base. Another hit for Springer. This one just a single, though, in first and third now, and that'll bring up Jarrett Curtis, who has had a base on balls, a single, a couple of runs scored, and an unbelievable catch in right center field so far. For the newcomer to the Potters from Cypress, Texas, and Texas Tech University. 0-1. Maloney at third and Springer over at first. 10 hits now for the Potters. It's 25 in the last game and a half for Lincoln. 3 of them tonight or this afternoon are for Brendan Springer. Curtis takes that one on the inside corner. That's called strike 2. Off-speed pitch from Nick Herman. Zach Malone to follow, but it's all about Jarrett Curtis right now. Popped up right side out of play. Oh, 0-2 on Jarrett Curtis. Springer off at first base. Here's the pitch. Gets away, and Springer's going to think about going to second, but stays at first. And it's ball 1 to Jarrett Curtis. It's a bounced off the glove of catcher John Holtz. Springer didn't want to make a mistake on the bases, so he stayed there. Throw over to first base, and Springer is back in. 1-2 on Curtis. Potter scored 4 times in the 4th and 3 in the 5th, so 7 runs in the last 2 innings. Here's the 1-2. Curtis lines it to left field. It might stay up, and it does. It's caught by Moore, caught out in left field. The throw home. The tag is applied, and he is out at the plate. What a throw by Jake Moore to get JT Maloney at the plate, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. A hard line drive by Curtis, but Moore's strong throw got there on the fly. The tag made by John Holtz, and out of the plate, JT Maloney. So no runs for the Potters. We go to the 7th, and the Knicks lead at 10-8.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport.
Old Town Pizza, a proud sponsor of your Potters baseball, will deliver you a slice that you won't soon forget. Come see why they've been voted the best of the best 12 straight years. Visit otpizza.net to get yours today. But don't take it from me.
I think Old Town Pizza should be expanded through the state or even through the country because it's so delicious.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Placer County's best-kept secret is back for another exciting summer at historic McBean Stadium. 33 action-packed home games loaded with fun for the whole family. Local beer, wine, and eats. Fireworks, giveaways, theme nights, kids zone, and more. Come join in the fun and enjoy small-town baseball with Major League Entertainment. Tickets on sale now at LincolnPotters.com.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Knicks still up 10-8. Gabe Maya, the new pitcher, the left-hander out of El Dorado Hills. Fourth pitcher of the day for the Potters. Sotomayor started, then Eric Vassar, Brian Garrett, and now Gabe Maya. He will face Joey Lovelace, John Holtz, and Jake Moore. The bottom of the order for the Novato Knicks. Moore with a tremendous throw from left field. A little bit offline, but strong enough so that the catcher Holtz could get it and still put the tag on JT Maloney in the bottom of the sixth. So the Potters had something going, couldn't make it work. And it is still 10-8 as we go into the seventh. Here's Lovelace for his first appearance. He came on defensively for Eli Hancock back in the fifth inning. Hancock was 0 for 2, but did have an RBI and a bases-loaded walk. Lovelace out of Sonoma State College. Had a couple of home runs for the Seawolves last season. So here's Lovelace against Gabe Maya. Right-handed hitter, open stance. Takes the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike from the left-hander Gabe Maya. 0-1 pitch. High fly ball, center field. Curtis gives a little ground. Now he's going to come back towards home plate and make the catch about waist high for the first down. So Lovelace hit it pretty hard, but it got knocked down a little bit by the breeze, and he's the first out of the seventh inning. John Holtz, the catcher, coming up to the plate. John has hit a sacrifice fly, grounded out to short and grounded out to third. Picked up an RBI on the ground out to third. So 0 for 2, but 2 runs batted in for our Dueling Dogs batter today, and so far he's disappointed thirsty patrons who were not able to get half off of Dueling Dogs if he were to strike out. Inside with the first pitch, 1-0. He's followed by Jake Moore, the left fielder. That one's high and outside. So 2 balls and no strikes. Gabe Maya came in the 8th inning last night to get a big strikeout for the Potters. Potters eventually losing that one as the Knicks scored one in the top of the 9th. That's chopped down the first base line. It's going to be foul. Run down by Isola. He lets the first base coach handle it. He bobbles it, but still went after it. Didn't give up on it and stayed with it, and I think he would have had the runner had there been a play at first. 2-1. And the barks are starting again for the Dueling Dogs batter. We had a lot of barks last time, so not so many this time. They got to realize that beer sales stops after the 7th inning, so you got to get it in now. This will be the last chance for the Dueling Dog batter. And he waved at that one, and it is rung up by the base umpire. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, and we're 2/3 of the way toward that 50% off for thirsty patrons. And now a few of the dog barks are coming out. I don't know if those are Willie's manufactured ones or if people are really barking for him. But we'll see, because we had a little section down here earlier that was doing the job. Lines that one out to left field, going back as Malone, still going back. He's got it in front of the warning track for the out. So Holtz put the bat on it, but he is retired. 2 flyouts for the Knicks here in the 7th with 2 outs. Jake Moore coming to the plate. Actually, I think that's Lucas Schaefer. That's number 14, Lucas Schaefer, batting. So Schaefer hitting for Moore. Lucas Schaefer. Moore was 2 for 3 while he was in there. Had a run, scored out an RBI, and threw out a runner at home plate. So he turned in a pretty nice 6 innings out there in left field. And now here's Schaefer, who started the first 2 games of the series. Takes a bender in there for a strike, 0-1. Schaefer from the College of Marin coming in for Jake Moore here in the 7th inning. That's high and outside from Gabe Mayan. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball over to first base. They're going to flip it to the pitcher covering, and Gabe Maya steps on the bag just a half step ahead of Lucas Schaefer. So 1, 2, 3 from Maya in the top of the 7th. We stretch it and go to the bottom of the 7th. Knicks 10, Potters 8.
Welcome back, Olympia's 5th grade orchestra.
Perhaps there's no place like your home because you made it so at RC Willey.
Hi, Bill Evans, President of the Placer County Association of Realtors. We're in the store, our conference facilities, an amazing team helps us keep together an amazing organization, and we thank them all.
This organization can't do what it does and can't run the way it runs without the help of so many members volunteering their time.
The success of the Placer County Association of Realtors is largely dependent on our active volunteer members to help our organization and industry. The work of our committees greatly impacts our ability to champion efforts across the board and giving back to the Placer County community wherever we can.
Like all service organizations, I wanted to serve. And getting involved with the affiliate committee was the perfect way to do that.
I love being able to serve my community with my business friends and other leaders and give back to those who are in need.
The thing I love about the PCAR committees is they all work toward the same goal of bringing the community together to support those in need in our surrounding area.
I instantly came to the meeting and had a wonderful time, felt like I was a part of something bigger, and it was just the start of my leadership journey.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Everybody sufficiently stretched out here in the 7th inning. Zach Malone, then Landon Weiss and Aiden Isola, the first 3 hitters for the Potters against Nick Herman as they try to come back from this 10-8 deficit. Had a chance in the 6th inning, but had a runner thrown out at home plate trying to tag up from third. Sails high and outside, but the credit for that, no detriment to the runner. The credit goes to Jake Moore out in left field with a fine throw. He's rewarded by being replaced. I'll have to talk to my friend Ryan, the manager over there, and see what's going on. It's popped up left side. Coming in is Schaefer, the new left fielder, and makes the catch going toward the foul line. So Malone is retired on a fly ball to left field. 1 out, and here's Landon Weiss, the catcher. He's singled in the 3rd, squeezed in a run in the 4th, and walked in the 5th. So 1 official at bat. A hit, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. He fouls that one off over the right side. 0-1 on Landon from William Jessup University. Reminder on Tuesday when the Potters are back, it's a 2 for Tuesday versus the Sacramento Yankees. Half off. The Luminous Basin Brews. So you want to come out here and check it out. And then on Thursday again, Thirsty Thursday. So we're going to take care of you if you come out to see us play against the Sacramento Yankees. 0-2 on Weiss as he fouls another one back to the screen. And Herman's ready to deal 0-2. Line drive right back up the middle. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. And it almost hit Nick Herman. And he's mad because I think he thinks he should have caught that. But I don't know. Line drive comes back at you. I'm getting out of the way. That's just me. Second hit of the day for Landon Weiss. He's on base again, the 4th time. 11 hits for the Potters, and here's Aiden Isola, who struck out in the 1st inning, then flied to left in the 3rd, but since then has been on fire with RBI singles in the 4th and the 5th. So Aiden is 2 for 4 today, and he's up here against Nick Herman. I don't know if he hits home runs or not, but I think there's a good time for it. This might get the Potters crowd going. Herman's pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. I'm just saying it might be a good time for it. That's all I'm saying. Levi Sotomayor on deck. Potters down 10-8. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Malone flying out to lead off, and then a single by Weiss. Isola takes that one right down the middle, 1-1. Not saying that's the one I would have taken to hit a home run on, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. Weiss with a pretty good lead over at first base. Breaking ball, just a little bit inside, 2-1. Ryan Shimabukuro started. Then Holt, Sadler, and Herman for the Knicks. Isola lines that one right to shortstop. The throw over to first base, not going to be in time to double him off. So Aiden hit it hard again, that time right at Jacob Campbell at shortstop. Second out is recorded, and here's Levi Sotomayor, who started as a pitcher and turned into a DH. He has grounded out, flied out, singled, and then singled again. 2 singles, 2 RBIs for Levi. He is actually 7 for 13 so far in the season. 2 runs scored and 2 runs driven in. So pretty productive weekend at the plate for Levi out of Sac City College. First pitch is outside. 1-0, Cade Sanchez to follow. Getting a little late for the Potters. They trail it by 2. We're in the bottom of the 7th. That one is in there for a strike. 1-1 on Sotomayor. Weiss down at first base. His second single of the day. Herman to the plate outside, 2-1 on Sotomayor. Potters won game 1 on Friday night, 5-2. Last night a tight affair. A run in the 9th enables the Knicks to run away with a 5-4 win. In a game the Potters had 15 hits. There's a foul ball by Sotomayor. They've come back with 11 more hits today, but they find themselves out the short end of a 10-8 score right now. Levi settles in. Open stance from the left side. And Herman in the stretch as he checks on Weiss at first base. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So no runs, a hit, and 1 left. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Knicks 10 and the Potters 8.
Have you ever wondered, what is CMN? I thought so. Let me help. CMN stands for Children's Miracle Network, a non-profit organization that raises money for children's hospitals. Locally, UC Davis Children's Hospital is your CMN hospital, the only one in our area. It is a nationally ranked comprehensive children's hospital that provides the highest quality of care to pediatric patients like me. How is this level of care possible? With help from CMN donations. CMN teamed with corporate partners and community donors to fundraise for things like equipment, research, and patient care. All money raised locally during campaigns like this stays local to support children treated at UC Davis Children's Hospital. Sick and injured kids can't wait to get the care they need. And thanks to generous donors, partners, and fundraisers like you, we don't have to. Please give wherever you see the Miracle Balloon, and thank you for supporting CMN at UC Davis.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Top of the 8th, Knicks lead at 10-8. Gabe Maya back out on the mound. He'll face a pinch hitter, Jason Pretty, who will come in for Brandon Herder to start off the inning, and then Cooper Callison and Jacob Campbell scheduled the next 2 after that as the Knicks have the 10-8 lead. Weiss throws it down to second base to get us started here in the top of the 8th inning. Another great crowd out here for the opening weekend, Military Appreciation Day in this one. So Pretty comes out here from Doane University. Was in the lineup yesterday. Plays a very good center field. Covers a lot of ground out there. He was 0 for 1 with a run scored yesterday. left-handed hitter against the left-hander Gabe Maya, whose first pitch is outside. 1-0 on Jason Pretty. That breaking ball's inside and low, so it's 2-0. Catches the outside corner. That's in the dirt, 3-1. So Pretty opening up the top of the eighth here against Gabe Maya. Knicks had 2 in the second, 5 in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth. So 3 big innings for Novato. That one is in there for a strike, 3-2. Three-two pitch. High, ball 4. Base on balls hurting the Potters pitchers so far today, and another one puts Pretty down on first base. And here is Cooper Callison, who came on for Shane Callison back in the sixth. Switch hitter as he's batting from the right side this time. Furry even with the bag at third. Here's the pitch. Gets away from Weiss, but not far enough for Pretty to try to advance. Inside with the pitch, though, 1 ball and no strikes. Jacob Campbell on deck, the shortstop, who has a couple of hits and 4 runs batted in this one. Here's the 1-0 coming from Gabe Maya. 2-0. Really trying to get the reaction from the crowd to give him the clap, and they're not giving him the clap right now. Stones McCoy trying to do what he can. 2-0 pitches right in there for a strike, 2-1. Potters down 10-8. We're in the top of the 8th inning. That one's lined into left center field over the shortstop's head and down for a base hit. Rounding second and staying there is Pretty, as picked up by Jarek Curtis. Single by Cooper Callison. Hit number 8 for the Knicks. And that will bring up Campbell, who walked in the first inning, then struck out in the third. 2-run single in the fifth, 2-run double in the sixth. And he's up here with 2 on and nobody out in the 8th. And the Knicks already sporting a 10-8 lead. Potters pitchers have given up 8 walks through 7+ innings in this one. And 8 hits also by the Knicks, as we said. So Furry down at third base. Probably going to stay back. Doesn't think Campbell will be dropping it down after 4 runs batted in his last 2 at-bats. Braden Holiday on deck, the number 4 hitter, who drives in a couple of runs himself. Breaking ball, nice looking pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Don't think that's the one that Campbell was looking for. And Gabe is ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Ball loose on the field from the bullpen. I hadn't noticed that sign, Stones. That's an interesting way. I mean, you can have a fancy, neon sign or something, or you could just have a piece of plywood and write beer here and spray paint it or something. I mean, that is just like classy. I love that. After all we've done to class up the joint. Another breaking ball, another strike, 0-2. I mean, I approve of it. Don't get me wrong. It's great. I just noticed it just now. Just a big piece of plywood. It says beer here. No prices, nothing. Just beer here. Maybe it means they want beer here. I love that. Fouled out of play. Instead of calling for the waitress or going to the backyard, just put up a big sign that says "Beer here, bring beer here." Baseball fans can be very innovative when they desire refreshment. 0-2 coming up to Jacob Campbell. Breaking ball. Just misses the outside corner. What a nice idea by Gabe Maya, as he's got 2 breaking balls in there for strikes already against Campbell. Tried to put one a little bit outside, and Jacob wouldn't offer. 1-2. That's fouled. Another breaking ball is fouled over by the dugout. And I know it's not possible. I don't know what's bigger, the contingent of Knicks in front of their dugout or the size of the pieces of pizza that you had today, Stones, because they're both huge. I think the pizza was bigger. I think the pizza covered more ground than those guys covered down there. You must sell by the square foot on that pizza, huh? Or square yard. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Gabe Maya. Came in with a heater that time. And Campbell's down on strikes. And that brings up more trouble. Braden Holiday, who's hit into a fielder's choice, struck out, had an RBI single and flied out to center field. He flied out to center field. Doesn't really tell the whole story. That was the one he lined into right center, and Jarrett Curtis made a tremendous sliding catch after running for about 50 yards out there. So it was no simple fly out to center field. That's high for a ball, 1-0. So Holiday 1 for 4 with an RBI, so 3 for 12 with 5 runs batted in and a home run in the series. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball down low, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes on Holiday. Nico Tejada to follow. There's the breaking ball. It catches the outside corner. A little backdoor breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike on Braden Holiday. Tries it again. That time misses outside. So it's 3-1 on Holiday. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 8th. That's lifted right side. He's going to stay in play for Aiden Isola down in foul territory. It does, and catches it right in front of the Potters dugout. So a big out right there from Maya. Gets Holiday to pop out to first base. 2 outs, and here's Nico Tejada, who's had an interesting day at the plate. He walked and scored in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 4th, walked again in the 5th, and hit a sacrifice fly in the 6th. So I see like 1 official at bat there, a run scored and a run batted in for Nico Tejada. Nick Tobin to follow, but it's all about Tejada right now in the mind of Gabe Maya and the Potters. First pitch in there for a strike. Gabe Maya out of El Dorado Hills. I don't believe he's declared his college intentions for next year. 6'2", left-hander. Heading the count 0-1. Throws the same pitch, gets the same result, 0-2 on Nico Tejada. Nico out at third base for the finale of this 3-game series. Started at third in game 1, as we mentioned, did some duty behind the plate in game 2. Fastball's chopped foul over into the on-deck circle, where Mr. Tobin circles it, flips it back to the umpire. Well, actually just puts it in his pocket. I hope he doesn't think he's taking that home. I mean, we need to pay for those. I probably wouldn't. He seems like a nice fellow. Cowbells are kind of ringing. Willie's got the cowbells going over here. Fastball's lined down to third, and Furry has it before it hits the ground, which means the batter is out, and the Potters are out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Time's getting short. Potters trail 10-8.
Loomis Basin Brewing Company, a proud sponsor of your Lincoln Potters. Visit them at 3277 Swetzer Road in Loomis or call 916-259-2739.
Have you ever wondered, what is CMN? I thought so. Let me help. CMN stands for Children's Miracle Network, a non-profit organization that raises money for children's hospitals. Locally, UC Davis Children's Hospital is your CMN hospital, the only one in our area. It is a nationally ranked comprehensive children's hospital that provides the highest quality of care to pediatric patients like me. How is this level of care possible? With help from CMN donations. CMN teamed with corporate partners and community donors to fundraise for things like equipment, research, and patient care. All money raised locally during campaigns like this stays local to support children treated at UC Davis Children's Hospital. Sick and injured kids can't wait to get the care they need. And thanks to generous donors, partners, and fundraisers like you, we don't have to. Please give wherever you see the Miracle Balloon, and thank you for supporting CMN at UC Davis.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Bottom of the eighth, Hogan Weaver coming in on the mound for the Knicks. At least I think it's Hogan Weaver. It says 42. That's Tanner Ivy, but that's Hogan Weaver pitched the other day, and that looks like him to me. Is anybody going to back me up on this? I hope somebody does. Cade Sanchez is the batter, and I know that for a fact, okay? First pitch is in there with a fastball. No balls and one strike. Fastball that time is in there for a call. Strike two. Thought it might be a little bit low, but call strike two. JT Maloney, Trey Furry to follow Cade Sanchez. Sanchez faced Weaver the other night. Got himself a base hit, but he's behind 0-2 right now. Did he go? No, he did not. They asked the first base umpire. Quickly signals no. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cade Sanchez. Logan Bell working out in the Potters bullpen. His dad came up and said hi today. It was good to see him. Seems like a very nice guy. That's grounded down the left of second base into right field for a base hit. I'll tell you, Cade Sanchez just reached out and put his bat out and hit that one into right field perfectly between the first and second baseman. Sanchez with his first hit of the day, his 5th of the series. He's down at first base, and here's JT Maloney. Hit number 12 for the Potters. And here's JT Maloney. Lined out to the pitcher, flied to right, struck out, and was hit by a pitch. So 0 for 3 for JT in this one. Fastball's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez with 2 strikes just put the bat out. Hit it in a perfect spot between first and second. Cooper Collison tried to get over and get it, but no chance. Defensive change, I believe, at first base. I think that's Jaden Huang 2 out there, taking over at first base for Nick Tobin. I'll tell you, the Knicks get everybody in every game. You got to like that. That's hit high up in the air down the right field line. Giving chase is Loveless into foul territory in the bullpen, and he lets it drop for a long foul ball. That is Huang 2 out there at first base, and Loveless, who came on to bat for Eli Hancock, is out in right field. Maloney now 2 balls and 1 strike. Sanchez very short lead at first base. But the throw over there anyway, and Weaver throws about 94 to first base because he gets over there in a hurry. Trey Furry to follow. JT Maloney, the shortstop out of Sac City. Weaver's pitch is high for a ball. 3-1 now on JT Maloney. Potters have been threatening the last couple innings, haven't put anything up on the board after the Knicks took the 10-8 lead. 3-1 now by Weaver. That's hit sharply back at Weaver. What a play. He stabs it, throws it to second for one, back over to first, and it gets past the first baseman and going all the way down second. The ball's backed up by the catcher, who throws it over the second baseman's head, and moving all the way to second is Maloney. So it's a fielder's choice. Maloney ends up on second. The throw to first, what the assess an error on the throw to first. It was a great play by Weaver, who snagged the ground ball and wended back to second to get to second base, and here's Furry. Brandon Springer to follow. Fly ball right field. Going back is Lovelace. He's got it in front of the fence. Tagging at second base is Maloney. He'll go to third, but the out recorded on the fly ball to right field. 2 outs. Maloney at third now, and Brandon Springer, who's doubled twice, struck out, and then singled, so he is 3 for 4 in this one. Coming up here with 2 outs in the 8th. Out of William Jessup University. So Weaver with the runner at third now, but 2 outs. Springer swings and misses on a fastball. 0-1 on Brandon. Doubled in a run in the second, doubled and scored in the fourth, struck out in the fifth, and then singled in the sixth. Got 5 hits over the weekend for the Potters. Off-speed pitch is fouled out of play to the right. So quickly 0-2 on Brandon Springer. Wide open stance right side, a little bit of crouch for Brandon Springer. Fouls it back to the screen, another Weaver fastball. 0-2. Fouled it back to the screen, but away from the Stones McCoy cameras. The Stones Radio Network's cameras, which are valuable pieces of property and cannot be damaged at any cost. Or how would he bring you the fine pictures that he always does? Weaver, arm fake over to third. Not sure why. Stones tries to get the balk called, but no one thinking that. Sorry, Stones, no one was thinking that. Off-speed pitch, check swing. They're going to ask, and he's going to say no, he did not go. As the base umpire was already into his safe signal before they even asked him. He's like, oh, if you're going to ask me, no. Okay? 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brandon Springer. That's outside. Nice play by John Holtz, the catcher. That could have easily got past him and perhaps allowed Maloney to score, but he snags it and evens the count at 2-2. Jarrett Curtis on deck, number 7 hitter. That is down low for a ball. So all the way to 3-2 on Brandon Springer. Three balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the 8th. Maloney down the line at third. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. So Weaver comes up with the big strikeout. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. We go to the 9th. Knicks 10, Potters 8.
It begins on the farm, where hard work breeds motivation. Care is taken under watchful eyes. With new growth comes inspiration, where playtime is mandatory. Welcome to Dueling Dogs Brewing Company. Meet the Stevens, a husband and wife who work hand in hand to craft exclusive small batch beer, mead, and cider. Using locally sourced ingredients to ensure freshness in every glass. Where a community of farmers, local artisans, and amazing food make for a truly inspired atmosphere. At the end of the day, we know the value of hard work. The families it unites, it's in the pride we take, the stories we tell, and the best friends who are cherished. Dueling Dogs Brewing Company.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Logan Bell on the mound for the Potters here in the ninth, making his second appearance of the season. Went 2 innings the other day and was our player of the game. Did the post-game interview at Lisbon, Ohio, and Bowling Green State University. Jaden Huang, too, is going to be the first hitter for the Knicks against Logan Bell. He'll be followed by Joey Lovelace and then John Holtz, 6, 7, and 8. Huang, too, came in at first base for Nick Tobin, who came in at first base for Joey Taddy. So they've been playing all their first basemen in this one. Once again, we want to wish the best of luck over the season to the Novato Knicks. Ryan Cooney, the manager, was up here before the game, and he seems to have a really good idea on what he wants to do with the franchise, the organization, and they are headed in the right direction. He just tries to find them quality teams to play against that makes them better. So Jaden Huang, too, is going to be the first hitter. He'll face Logan Bell here. There's a strike on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1. It's off his glove, the pitcher's glove. Bell picked up by Maloney over to first. What a fine play by J.T. Maloney as the ball glanced off the glove of Bell. Maloney under control, guns it across the diamond, a 1-6-3 put out for the first out here in the ninth, and that'll bring up Joey Lovelace. Joey, the right fielder, in place of Eli Hancock. So 1 out here in the ninth, and an excellent play by the Potters defense. Lovelace will be followed by John Holtz. That is in there for a strike. 0-1. Potters back in town, back at home on Tuesday. Next pitch just misses the outside corner. 2 for Tuesday against the Sacramento Yankees, 6:35 first pitch. Get your tickets and information at LincolnPotters.com. Hit sharply out towards shortstop. Maloney waits for it, picks it up across the diamond and gets him at first base by, I'm going to say, a step and a half for the second out. JT Maloney, a very patient shortstop. He waits on it, trusts his arm to get it over there in time, and it did in that case. 2 outs, and here's John Holtz. Now it looks like John Holtz had a talk with the number 34. No, it is John Holtz. He emerged from the dugout like he was surprised that he was up. And since he's been playing the whole game and was batting in the same spot, you'd think he would know. But John has been very productive today. Sacrifice fly in the second. RBI ground out in the fifth. Takes that one high for a ball, 1-0. And tagged out a runner at home plate. A key run for the Potters back in the 6th inning. So he's been quite busy behind home plate and at the plate today. That is on the outside corner for a strike. And Jones, I think that's our first canine. We got a little dog walking there. Usually you don't see a lot of them. We saw a lot of them on at AR. Oh, that's a tremendous looking dog too. Breaking ball in there for a strike. I mean, if that's going to be the first dog we see, that's a good one for number one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, Tom, yeah. Parking Lot Potters get to do whatever they want. It's not really, I mean, I'm sure he's got his own ticket. He's got his own bar stool out at Brick and Barrel. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Good inning for Logan Bell and the Potters, but they're going to need the offense to come through as we move to the bottom of the ninth. The Knicks 10, Potters 8.
Lincoln Area Archives Museum is the official partner of the Potters' 100th anniversary season. The museum is located just around the corner in Bierman Plaza in the center of the Old Historic District. Plan your visit and learn about early Lincoln history.
The mouth-watering Big Mac with a savory filet-o-fish and a tasty McChicken. My goodness, that looks good. You're making a McDonald's menu hack. Yes, a land, air, and sea. Oh, it's going to tip over. No, it's good. It's good. Very stable. Order the land, air, and sea by name. Build it by hand.
Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Bottom of the ninth, Nico Tejada moves over from third base to take over the pitching for the Knicks. The sixth pitcher, Shimabukura, then Holt, then Sadler, then Herman, then Weaver, now Tejada, which means that Cooper Callison moves over to third, and Ansel Carson comes in, and he will play second base. For the Knicks, Jin Huang Tu is over at first base. We had that before. Lucas Schaefer now in left field. Pretty is in center field, and Lovelace is in right field. So they basically have replaced their entire lineup except for Jacob Campbell at shortstop and John Holtz behind the plate. So well done, Coach, getting everybody in on a trip to Lincoln, Sacramento, and then kept going to Lincoln. Jarrett Curtis is the first. Jarrett Curtis will be the first hitter. He's grounded out, singled, walked, and flied out. He hit the line drive to left field back in the sixth inning. Hit the ball well, but was retired. So here's Curtis out of Cypress, Texas, and Texas Tech University making his debut as a Potter. And it'd be nice to, start a game-winning rally in your debut. I'm just saying. Not saying, but I'm just saying. Against Nico Tejada. He shows bunt, bunts it down the first base line. Tejada's off the mound fast, gets it there, and gets it by half a step. So probably not the best time to bunt it to a pitcher who's also a third baseman. And Curtis is retired. Nice bunt he put down, but just a little bit too close to the pitcher's mound, and Tejada was off quickly to get the first out, and that'll bring up Zach Malone. So Tejada has played third, he's caught, and he's pitched in this series. And here's Malone. Zach has flied to left, walked, hit a sacrifice fly, and then flied to left again. So he's flied to left 3 times. Takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Malone check swing. Did he go? I don't know. Asked the umpire. He said no, he did not. 1-1. Shimabukuro started the game for the Knights. Then Holt, Sadler, Herman, Weaver, and now Tejada. So pitcher number 6 for Coach Ryan. Malone lines that one solidly into left center field for a base hit. Rounds first, but his run not that important until we get to the second one. But Zach had to have a base runner, and he came through. Another hit for the Potters. 13 hits for the Potters, 28 hits in the last 2 days. Here is Landon Weiss, the catcher. He has singled, had a squeeze bunt sacrifice, walked and singled again. So 2 for 2 2 runs scored and 1 run driven in for Landon Weiss. Malone at first base, 1 out now. Weiss takes high and inside for a ball. Top of the order, that means Aiden Isola is on deck. Throw back over to first base, and back in is Zach Malone. Weiss out of William Jessup University waits for the next pitch from Tejada, the 1-0. Hits it sharply down into the hundreds of people in front of the dugout of the Knicks, and hopefully nobody was injured because that one was hit really well by Landon Weiss. I remember the old days when I was baseball when people sat in the dugout. I don't know. Maybe that's just, I guess you got to evolve, I guess, but that was the old days. 1-1. Inside for a ball, 2-1. His umpire, sometimes when he moves back from the pitch, his move back is the same as his move back when he's going to signal a strike. And so you got to kind of really read the nuances here. Decent lead at first by Malone. Weiss pops it up out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Landon Weiss. Malone creeps off at first base. 2-2 on the way from Tejada. Outside, Malone caught off first. He gets back, and the throw a little bit too late, as Zach was kind of not quite to no man's land, but he was getting to no man's land. He was able to get back. Full count now on Landon Weiss. 1 out here in the 9th. Knicks have used the big inning to grab the 10-8 lead. Foul ball down the right field line. That'll be out of play. And we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2. Malone leading off at first base. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3 on Weiss. Breaking ball in the dirt, but he got the swing for the second out, and that'll leave it all up to Aiden Isola. 2 for 5 for Aiden Isola. A couple of RBI singles in the 4th and 5th. Lined out to shortstop in the 7th, so he's hit the ball well 3 times in a row. Flied out to left in the 3rd. Struck out to open it in the bottom of the 1st for the Potters. So 2 for 5 for Aiden so far. Potters are looking for another hard hit ball. Down to their last out here on Military Appreciation Day. Breaking ball inside for a ball, 1-0 on Aiden Isola. Looks down at JP, and JP says a home run would be a good idea. That's why he's a manager. That's why he stepped up to be a manager, because he comes up with those things. Stones was describing the arc of a home run to me, but I've seen a few, so I'm good. Outside, 2-0. Levi Sotomayor on deck. A couple hits for Levi as well today. He is 2 for 5 with 2 runs batted in. A long time ago, he started the game on the mound for the Potters, went the first 3 innings. 2-0 pitch coming up. Outside, ball 3. Isola looks down at JP, and JP, this being summer, I'm sure he says, hey, if you like it, hit it. Three balls and no strikes. High and inside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Isola puts him at first base. He is the potential tying run, of course. At second base now, Zach Malone, and here's Levi Sotomayor, who has grounded to second, fly to left, singled twice, and then struck out in his last appearance. So 2 for 5 with 2 runs batted in. 7 for 14 over the weekend for Levi. 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. Malone at second, Isola at first. Aiden didn't really get anything good to hit. The closest pitch was an inside off-speed pitch to start the at-bat. Fastball's outside again. 1 ball and no strikes. No activity in the bullpen for the Knicks, so presumably this is Tejada's inning. Cade Sanchez on deck for the Potters. That's fouled out of play. Evens the count up at 1. Go to Mayor out of Sac City College, along with Isola. JT Maloney as well. One ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Good deception by Nico Tejada there. And he has got his Knicks to, with 1 strike, have taken the series 2 games out of 3. Check of the runner at second base. Here's the 1-2. Popped up left side. Is it going to stay in play? Cooper Callison goes over, and it is not. And a couple of fans went to the second fence to try to make the play, and it was over the second fence as well, so no one got to make the play. Stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Malone at second, Isola at first. Outside for a ball, gets away a little bit on Holtz, but nobody moving on the Potters. Don't want to make the last out on the bases when you're down 2 runs. So it's a 2-2 count on Levi Sotomayor. Potters putting up 13 hits today, along with 15 yesterday. Two coming from Tejada. Line drive right at the shortstop, and that's the ball game. So perfectly hit ball by Sotomayor, but right at the shortstop, Jacob Campbell, and that's the game. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Final score in this one, the Knicks 10 and the Potters 8. We're back with a little post-game after this on the Stones Radio Networks.
Astro Air Design Incorporated, where you feel the difference. We are a locally owned and operated heating, air conditioning, and custom sheet metal company committed to the highest quality of craftsmanship at a competitive price. Our trained and certified technicians have the knowledge and experience required to install, maintain, or repair your home comfort solutions. Our upfront pricing gives you the peace of mind because you know your price is locked in. Call Astro Air Design Incorporated today.
Gooseport Public House. We have sports on 10 big screen TVs, 23 beer taps with classics and crafts, a full bar with creative craft mixed drinks, live music, and most importantly, great fresh food. In downtown Roseville off Vernon Street, only 15 minutes from the ballpark. See ya at Gooseport.
Insist. It's your turn. Nope, I think it's your turn. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Go. I appreciate your appreciation. It fills me.
Safe drivers save money with Farmers.
Just for driving safely?
It's a Farmers policy perk. Get Farmers and you can get a safe driver discount simply for having a clean driving record for 3 years.
Come on. After you. After you. Safety first.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. Lincoln Potters Baseball. Come on out and join in the fun.
Welcome to Potters Postgame. Mark DePanamo here with Stones McCoy. And Stones, Potters lost 2 out of 3. The bats were great, but today kind of the pitching didn't let them down a little bit. Too many bases on balls.
Yeah, in fact, I hear Brock Raggets in my head right now saying, You know what upsets me more than anything is walks, free bases, free passes. And that's really in the 2 losses that they had against Novato, that's really what bit them. And you add that many guys out there on the base paths, you're bound to give up more runs than you would if you didn't.
Yeah, a good thing about this series, I think, is that Novato, teams at the beginning of the season tend not to have a lot of their players and stuff, and that's happened in the past with the Potters and with their opponents. But Novato gets a lot of their guys from Sonoma State. A lot of their guys are there.
Yep.
They're a fine team, and they're well coached over there, and they put the ball in play and do a lot of good things. So that's a good way to measure yourself coming right out of the gate with the first weekend series.
Yeah, Ryan Cooney or Coney. Cooney. He's a heck of a guy over there. He's also the general manager, from what I understand.
Okay.
So let's just make sure we give him the right title. But yeah, I mean, he's got a really well coached group of guys over there. Let's just be honest. All 3 games were good games. The first game, obviously, Novato would like to kind of forget about.
No,
right?
we'll take it. We'll take the one win.
But we'll take that win. But these last 2 games, extremely competitive, very nice and tight ball games. They both sides gave up more free passes and those things that they wanted to. So, you figure through 64, 65 games throughout the summer, they're going to clean that up a lot. And I expect the Potters to do so too.
Yeah, now the one good thing that, 28 hits the last 2 games. 4 guys
Offense
had at least
is
2 hits in this game, so that's great to see. So a real good opening weekend as far as the experience, the fans coming out here, everybody supporting the Potters. You're 1-2 in the 1-loss column, but that's going to get better as you get better. Like you say, you get used to each other. The pitchers get used to pitching. Remember, we always say this, we don't know the last time those guys pitched.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, their seasons have been over for a while, and we don't know the last times they pitched. Well, Stones McCoy, great job this weekend. A lot of
fun. As well.
A lot of fun getting it going. We're back here on Tuesday. Remember, it's a 2 for Tuesday. First pitch 6:35. The Potters warm up. The pregame starts about 6:20. For now, for Stones and for myself, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Stones Radio Networks.